Yeah. ASAP. Talk to me nice, don't talk to me at all. Yeah. So the nigga walks away in the rain. Pretty bitch in the Benz, give me brain. Lick with a sicko fang. She licked the dip to the tip, color change. Fill a fifth one clip in his brain. Did it drip like my dick on the dame. Feel a pain, 3 bullets in the range. Live a single cathedral in the grave. When I mingle, the words to exchange. Money maker come, so it's Benjamin Franklin. Lenses, Medusa the shades. Versace, my suit to the maid. You're hot tea in the coop getting late. You're probably in the club getting played. No bitches, you get no play. My bitch KO, your bitch okay. Riding in the streets and we so live. Riding in the streets and we so live. Riding in the streets and we so live. Getting live, getting live. Yeah, riding in the streets and we so live. I be riding in the streets when we so vibe. I be riding in the streets, we get so live. Young trap lord, down with the perk. By the die boy, nigga get murked. Pull a 9 boy here, sleep in the dirt. Leg in the hole, sleep in the earth. She fill out my clothes, lifting her skirt. Says she love coke, sniffing the work. Send me all the tech, guns gon' flirt. Bang, bang, let her one squirt. Givenchy, my body, consumed in my colleague. Versace, my eyelids. East Saint Laurent me. 12 in Hirachis and Margiela on Rocky. Yoshi, I'm a moto for Tanas and Thai beats. Fuck bitches, that's on me. Whack bitches move calmly. Last niggas of a dime breed. Yeah, me, myself, and Irene. Nigga hear them sirens when that 4-5 and that 9 squeeze. China bitch sip sake when I chop that ass with that dime me. Riding in the streets. So I'm riding in the streets. On the block, them killers riding with the heat. Yeah, my niggas riding for the streets. Yeah. Now I'm riding with my team. Yeah. Always try to prosper ASAP, yeah. Know it's me, FERG, yeah. TA, bitch.
Look, I'm with the gunplay. These niggas know what's up. But if you wanna squabble, nigga, we can line it up. We can line it up. We can line it up, nigga. If you wanna squabble, nigga, we can line it up. Yeah. Got the cannon low, you know I keep it tucked. But if you wanna squabble, nigga, we can line it up. We can line it up. We can line it up. You gon' hit the county jail, you gon' have to line it up.
Hey yo, we can line it up like both of us barbers. We could shoot 5 but I borrow. Go get your skete. I'ma be waiting with the skete. We can get it on something heavy. Fuck what you heard. It's hard to get rid of us. My team is goon. Your team is clitoris. Yeah, I'm from Harlem. The niggas flash cake with Sunday. We make money, make money. I came with answers. Y'all think we dancers, but the big brothers of the dancers are blamers. You know we getting guap. Big toys parked in the lot. Buying all the bottles in the spot. Drink in the air. You see me 2-step into the music. I splash you a day to do shit. Keep it moving or you might end up getting sniped on skillet. I got your wig piece in my sights on skillet.
I'm with the gunplay. These niggas know what's up. But if you wanna squabble, nigga, we can line it up. We can line it up. We can line it up, nigga. If you wanna squabble, nigga, we can line it up. Yeah. Got the cannon low, you know I keep it tucked. But if you wanna squabble, nigga, we can line it up.
Alright.
We can line it up.
Alright.
We can line it up.
Alright.
Don't hit the county jail, you gon' have to line it up.
I'm an AG 10th Ave High Park squabbler. Victor BG Overhill Mangler. Thunderdome at the park, never scared, line it up. Cop Supreme from the 60s, I ain't never gave a fuck. Blue khakis, left pocket, fat laces in my chuck. Saucy boy, get it crackin', nigga, I'm what's going up. Niggas talk slick, gon' get they shit swollen up. Squabble so cool, got your bitch niggas folding up. Whole court in the hood, man, I'm like peanut. It's a gang of U's, but it's one little draws, huh? Knock a nigga out like bone, then wake him up. My fist got the devil and I feel like punching you. Thundercat in the hood is Mando, we lined it up. Never turn it down, cause the niggas stay turning up. Squabble like Kimbo, that squabble my burner up. I'ma pitch you a poodle with your fucking tail tucked.
I'm with the gunplay. These niggas know what's up, but if you wanna squabble, nigga, we can line it up. We can line it up. We can line it up, nigga. If you wanna squabble, nigga, we can line it up, yeah. Got the cannon low, you know I keep it tucked, but if you wanna squabble, nigga, we can line it up. We can line it up. We can line it up. You gon' hit the county jail, you gon' have to line it up. Look. SLAUS, nigga ON, all money in, nothing out. That's how I get it in. We can line it up, man. You niggas know what's up. Go against the grain like grass, you getting cut. And my burner gon' bust in the rain, no rust. Keep the cannon with my pen second, let me pull them up. For my homies on the main line, yeah, we turned up. And we gon' take it to the grave for the homies like mom.
Yeah, I've been throwing them since 5-4 street school. 10th Ave deep in, find me in the swimming pool. No water, physical manslaughter. These niggas bulldogs because it came courser. I duck and dodge and come with the fake kick. Niggas swing at me, I move like the Matrix. I'm hitting hard, I give niggas a facelift. Animal style, cuz it go ape shit.
I'm with the gunplay, these niggas know what's up, but if you wanna squabble, nigga, we can line it up. We can line it up. We can line it up, nigga. If you wanna squabble, nigga, we can line it up, yeah. Got the cannon low, you know I keep it tucked, but if you wanna squabble, nigga, we can line it up. We can line it up. We can line it up. You gon' hit the county jail, you gon' have to line it up.
What is happening, player? Oh shit! It almost played the next thing. About to get me fucked over. What is going on, folks? So, as you might have heard, every Friday we're gonna be doing a Squabble Up stream. Now, for anybody who doesn't understand what Squabble Up means, that means we gonna fight. I'm here to argue. Let's bring a couple communities together and everybody hop in their arena and we argue about either, if somebody wants to come up here. If you looked in the chat, the StreamYard link is pinned there. I don't pay for shit, so I can only hold like about 6. And then after that, basically, I'm going to just alternate people out. There are other people who want to talk. Of course, because of nepotism, there are people who will get privileges, right? Of course. Absolutely no doxing at all whatsoever. Any of the cows are welcome. If if any of the people out there, if you got a problem with me, this is your time. Every Friday, you can pop right on up here and talk to me about whatever the fuck you want to talk about. I ain't pinned the link. Yes, I did. Get the fuck out of here. I ain't pinned the link. I swear I did. So I'm going to go ahead and drop it in there again. That's crazy. All right, I'm going to do it on here then. So I'm gonna do it because I did it on my phone. Apparently, my phone is a piece of shit. So I just dropped it in the chat. Oh shit, it's gonna play in the background, huh? Fuck. All right, hold on. Remove. There we go. And then I'm gonna pin it right there. Cause don't nobody want to hear me echo. Someone said something about not being able to pin links anymore. What do you mean? What you mean I can't pin a link anymore? That don't even make sense. Why would you not be able to see? That's going to be our first topic. Why can't I pin nothing? This is bullshit. Okay, there's a star right there. Is it pinned now? It should be pinned now. Oh, Yaba said it. I have to verify myself to pin links. What do you mean? I gotta be verified? What type of shit is that? So basically what you're telling me is I'm gonna have to keep dropping this bitch up in the chat like over and over again. Why is it giving me the option to pin it then? I'm like, I see it says pinned by not Yado. It says it right now. It's pinned. Yeah. See. All right. There we go. So now, switch me over. Don't go to my stream. Don't do that. So as I was saying, there would be absolutely no doxing of any kind. Don't be using real people's real names. I don't even care if it's the cows. We're not going to be doing none of that, right? If you do it, then they can do it. Um, if you got an issue with somebody, this is the spot to do it at. If somebody's on stream that you want to duke it out with, you are more than welcome to pop on and duke it out with them. Um, if you got an issue with me, of course, I'm always here. If you guys want to talk about something that I don't really have a say so in, I might just, fade to the background and ask a couple questions, right? But I'm trying to start like a little something where we have like a little arena because there's a lot of bullshit that goes on like during the week. And well, I mean, especially when it comes to our little corner of YouTube. And I think that, oh shit. And I think everybody needs a place to sit there and hash things out. Uh-oh, am I on the right stuff? Oh shit. Oh no. They don't look right. Did it take the beats off? See, I had a whole little playlist thing to put in the background. Oh, what's going on, Midwest? If you're trying to hop up, for right now, I'm gonna put something on in the background. So we got a little music to go along with everybody talking and stuff. If you want to pop up, you can definitely pop up. And it kind of seems weird if I sit here and just argue with the chat, right? Cause now I'm gonna sound like some other weirdos that be on here. Oh, I'm doing the wrong thing. I'm supposed to be looking on here. So for some reason, I can't find the beats that I usually like to listen to. I think they got rid of them. That's crazy. Because when I go to playlist,
Hey, it's me. Knock knock.
yeah, maybe I have the wrong one. Let's see. Shit. This is fucked up. Usually this is like always my go-to anytime we stream. Just go back and play that. So apparently that's not going to be a thing. I'm going to have to look for something else. And luckily for y'all, I know exactly what I'm going to look for. So apparently everybody in here is pretty much scary because I felt like one of you talkative motherfuckers would have popped up already. But I guess, you know, y'all a little scared right now because you want to press the issue. Don't worry, I got some pressing matters to go over. If anything, uh-oh. 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 What's going on, Negro?
Am I fucking replacement yet?
No, apparently everybody's too shook. You know, I think you might win the job by default because ain't nobody else really stepped up to the plate.
Ain't no fucking point of me leaving that. I mean, a lot of people want to do the shit with you. So what the hell? I'm just contractually obligated to be here. So
make sure you're talking into the mic because you know you be drifting off.
Nigga, fuck you.
Oh,
So
did I tell you that nigga, your twin works down the street from me? This nigga look just like you, except like he cross-eyed. And I swear, and he's from Detroit too. And I swear on everything, he's just like you. That shit's hilarious. I see him every day.
oh, because that is my twin.
Probably.
Nah, that wouldn't be that.
He might be your long lost. I'm just saying. You might have kicked him on his way out.
Well, he better stay lost. He don't want to be mixed up with my mother. So what are you doing here? Like what's the shit? What's the shit?
So basically, if anybody, this is like an extension, if you will, of the Smoke Arena. If anybody wants it, they can definitely get it. But since you're here now,
oh, we just gonna start? Are we gonna start arguing and fighting? Listen.
oh
This is
shit,
what you guys want, huh? You guys want drama?
this is what you want.
Let's watch the two most destructive niggas. You never have a fucking problem. Actually, I would have. That would have been hilarious. Like, even though we've been quiet with our shit or whatever, I did say like what was it like no and like Olafolo. I was like, I should have just started an all-out war with the whole Petty fam because it's like I know. No, like I'm not that confident. Me not confident or arrogant with shit, but I was just like, I know nobody can out shit talk me. I was like, who the? I was like, the only way that anybody could probably beat me in like, or just in like a beef type situation is you will have to dox me. Like that'll be the only way that you could beat me.
Yeah, because for the most part, anytime we go back and forth, I'm basically just building it up until I ain't got nothing left. Like I'll at least trade back and forth before I'm like, all right, I ain't got nothing left in the tank.
Oh, I'm not high or drunk. I just started smoking. This weed fucking sucks, dude. No, I was in the middle of playing a fucking game. I was playing Baldur's Gate.
So once again, this is the Squabble Up stream. We will be going over a couple topics. If anybody wants to, shit. If anybody wants to pop in, you definitely can. Anybody except Vidal. She is not invited. Anyone else can come up here though.
Did you random question, Yado? Did you start watching Jujutsu Kaisen yet?
No, I have not started it. I was planning on it this weekend.
Oh, hold on one second. I won't tie my hair up because I have no hair tie.
God, this nigga's hair is long enough so that he can tie it back. I remember when he was just starting to grow it out. What's going on, Vital?
I'm only here because you said everybody was scary, so I'm here to prove that not everybody's scary.
Okay, so are you gonna be the replacement bean? Because
No.
I'm tired of Tito.
No. I ain't replacing nobody. I can't do it.
So, okay, since Vidal is here, first off, how do you feel about trans people? No.
You want to go there, huh? You want to go there?
All right, that's the best y'all getting right there. I'm not holding all these fucking clips in my motherfucking head.
No, but I mean, funny enough, if we want to delve a little bit into it, Tito, how do you feel about the whole thing about trans women going into women's sports?
You really?
First off, there's not like that fucking many that's actually even going into sports. Two, like they're like the ones that are even noticed are not that fucking good. Like many of them are saying like they're like many like conservatives and shit that are saying that they're crushing it in sports. First off, let's be real. And that's nothing against women, but these motherfuckers that are having a problem with like trans people in women's sports don't watch those sports. Like I'm gonna be honest with you. And the other thing is like the fucking myth of it is saying that men are going through transition into women so they can um, kill it in sports is not true. Like, there's no man that's like legit. That's what their goal is to do. No, because they're not going to commit all the way through anyway. Like, Ben Shapiro just admitted that shit about that shitty ass movie Lady Ballers because they said they wanted to make a documentary first, and they realized, oh, you just can't join without actually doing several steps. And also, it doesn't make fucking sense just as like a normal standpoint. Even me, and I smoke a lot of weed. It's just like, okay, for you to like somehow like your end goal is to be like the Michael Jordan of the WNBA. What you're gonna do is to go through a process medically and like medically and like mentally or whatever. Go through all this thing. No telling. I don't know how long that shit is. You're gonna
But
go
I
through all that
mean,
to change your
but
body.
if
Then
you're talking
also
about,
that to be hated by so many people in
but
America.
if you're talking
Why would you
about
do that?
the WNBA though, there's
They're
only
not like
I
they're
can
not
count I
like
can
how many
count
of them
on
kill.
one hand how many women have dunked in the NBA in the
I think they
WNBA
have a rule
on one
against
hand. No, they don't. It's just the
or
fact
did I
that
just get that
there's
from
only
Jawan?
about 3 women who can. It used to actually be a rule back in Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's days when he was at UCLA. He wasn't allowed to dunk because he was so tall, and they ended up
Oh,
changing that rule too. But no, there's only a handful of women that are even able to dunk in the WNBA, and that's in history, not like currently playing, just in history.
I'm
So,
sorry. What did that have to do with
well,
it?
I was just saying because you brought up the WNBA, and I'm
I
saying
just
like
use that as
when it comes to the physicalities, right? Like if there were trans women who played in the NBA, I'm almost pretty sure she'd be added to the list of women who can dunk. Is what I'm saying. And there's not really a long list of women who can dunk in the WNBA in the history of the WNBA.
I mean, maybe. Probably also depends on like what position they're playing or something like that. Power forward, probably.
Look,
Depending on like.
there's some women in there who are like taller than me and you, and they can't dunk.
I mean, it's believable. I know that's true. Like, there are women taller than me. Like, I'm not the tallest nigga in the world and shit like that. Like, it's not outside that range and shit. But
So how do you feel, Vidal?
You know how I feel. I like how you go right to this.
Well, to be honest, I was actually just gonna bring it up somewhat in between, but I'm like, since you popped up, I might as well do it now.
No, I think you already know how I feel. I feel that unfortunately there are a lot of people don't like the word. There are just a lot of biological factors that make it unfair for trans women to compete in women's sports. I mean that's as much as people want to say, oh, the hormones and all this stuff, blah blah blah. The fact still remains that there's still a biological difference.
What do you think would be a solution to like this whole argument? Because it's been a thing where there are people who are trans. There are trans women who do sports, and they were doing sports before they transitioned. So like, do you have like any type of solution for people who might have transitioned and then still want to do sports?
There's the rub. Therein is the rub. Because regardless of what you do, there's going to be a problem, right? So, say you continue to allow them in women's sports, the problem will be that women will eventually feel like they're being pushed out of their own spaces, right? Men don't have to deal with that. It's never going to happen for men, but women
Why
will always have to deal with
why
that.
will it why will it never happen for men?
Because the ability for a trans man to overcome their biology and overpower a man is infinitesimal in comparison to the way a trans woman their biology can overpower a biological woman. Does that make sense?
Not at all. I'm not even joking.
The fact is that regardless of what they do with their hormones and God knows what else, the biology will still they are still biologically what they were born with, right? A trans woman is still technically, a male. And so because of that, they will still have the biological ability to have better muscle capabilities. They can grow muscles a lot better than females can. They still have the skeletal structure of a male. So their biology will still be male, and they will still
And
have.
just playing devil's advocate, this is just asking a question because of it, because we sitting right now. Then why is if said women and like trans women, because I know there are some trans women in sports, why aren't they like crushing it right now? Like, because like
What
there was one in the UFC, I think it was. I think she was champion for a minute though. But
She
she
cracked,
lost
but yeah, she lost. No, she won 6 straight.
eventually. I
One of the
mean,
women, that she beat,
yeah.
she cracked her skull open. That's only happened like one time, even in men's MMA.
Oh, it's a while. Like I have my own personal things I don't like
and then
about
she
like
eventually
UFC because this
lost.
is like human dog fighting, to be honest with you. But I mean, but honestly, technically, statistically, professional wrestling is like way more dangerous.
You got a question from the chat too. Uh-oh.
if there were? Well, there aren't.
I mean, one of the reasons why I brought it up too is so like I've been athletic like my whole life. I've always played soccer, football, and basketball, baseball, pretty like running, anything you can pretty much think of. And like even when I was younger and I played basketball and there was a woman playing with us, they would always put me on there because everybody else was like, it's not fair unless we put the kid on there. But even when they put the kid on there, it like I vastly outperformed her too. Like it didn't matter if I was only like 12 years old and she was 16. Like I still was gonna get every advantage, every physical advantage, at least off top, that I could put out there. And I was thinking about this earlier, and maybe you can answer this, Tito. Um, is it an argument from no, not right now. Is it an argument from incredulity if I say like, somebody who hasn't played sports or doesn't really play sports like that, like they wouldn't exactly understand? Like, is that like a fallacious argument?
I mean, I don't know either. Like these fancy fucking words. Like I think that's kind of like I think like to a
like
certain
is it
degree
a
it's
bad
kind of
argument? Is it a
yeah,
bad
because I think it's
argument
kind
to
of
be
fucking
like,
stupid
oh, if you
because
don't
that's
know
like
how to
when
play, if
people
you haven't played sports, then you
that's
probably
like
wouldn't know the
I don't
the
even bring up
physical difference.
Lowe's cows and shit like that. But that's like G Man saying you can't say his rap sucks because you're not a rapper. I'm like, no, but I'm a fan of
Mhm.
rap. Like I am also like just say another thing. I'm a professional wrestling fan or whatever. I can still critique the shit, but I don't like but people like just because I'm not a wrestler doesn't mean anything. You get what I'm
Mm.
saying?
It's not
Like
that I don't
I can
think that
still
it's not
say like
that it
I can
doesn't
still have
mean
my
anything.
like that's what like I was saying about that. But yeah, just to say like you didn't play
Well,
sports,
well,
so
the only
you can't
reason why I
fully.
see
I
it
mean, you
as
can't play
different,
like, but you can still be a fan. There's that's what like what fans are. Like
the
some
only
people
reason
just
why I
don't
see it
play
as
sports, but
different
they
though,
are a fan and
because
they can understand it. Or you could just
so
like the
so
different aspect of the sport. Like I had a homeboy that was really into refing, so he's always been a football ref, even so like since high school. or whatever.
Well,
They like
well,
you might
well,
just like
here's how I
different
see
things.
that's
Does
different,
he
though.
not count?
Well, here's how it's a little different.
Oh.
So the comparison wouldn't be that you are a fan of wrestling and then you have critiques about wrestling. It would be somebody saying,
I mean, we did have to wrestle. Like
it
maybe
would
that's a Midwest thing, but I've had to like I used to wrestle in high school.
it
I've
would be
wrestled
more
women.
it would be more so somebody saying like, you don't know the pain that a wrestler has unless you wrestled. In that sense,
I mean,
I
but
think it would
like
be more
to a
akin to
certain
that than
extent, not
anything.
really, because like how is it like to just imagine how many concussions? You have? Like I would not like I don't want nobody to have a concussion to understand like what the fuck it is. I have had like probably at least,
But I'm saying like that's
but,
a little bit of a difference though, because there's
but
watching and
what
having
defense?
critiques
That's like
about
a bag
somebody
and
doing
like.
the suplex, but there are certain things
Have
that
you ever landed on the back
you
of
would
your
have
neck
to be a
for one
wrestler.
day? No,
You would
but
have
you
to
have
be,
landed on the back of your neck one time, have you not?
But
Have you never
wait,
fell off of a
No.
trampoline or some
but
can
there are
I
shit?
certain
interrupt?
things that you
No.
would have to be a
I have
wrestler
a
in
question.
order to
Yeah, but they know how to
experience. I
land
think
safely
that's
though. Like
more
that's the
so what
thing.
I'm
Like
I
you could understand training.
I have a question.
What's that,
Go
man?
ahead.
Did G-Man really say you can't say his rap is bad if you're not a bad
Yes.
rapper?
Yeah, in all the
No,
wrong
no,
ways.
if you're not a rapper.
If you're not a
No.
rapper. He
Yeah.
really said that? Does
Yeah.
that mean that he has been to jail? If he's telling motherfuckers how not to get turned out in jail, does that mean he's been turned out in prison?
Yes.
In a weird way,
Prob-
yes. So, yeah.
I mean,
Probably.
that's the math, right?
He does have gay thoughts, though. So maybe
I
he's
mean, and he's
experienced it.
and he stole $3,000. So,
I stole $3,000. Okay,
but no,
that's all I came up here to find out.
but no, Tito, like
But I'm gonna stay for a while.
Okay.
that's more like what it's like, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't. Is it a bad argument? Because it would be like, hey, you've never paid taxes before. You can't tell me about what it's like to pay taxes.
You could say
rather
that
than I watched
any
somebody pay
thing.
taxes before and you did something.
like,
You
Well,
could say that.
You
You
don't
could say
have
that for
kids, so
anything.
you
Like
can't
you could
tell me what
say.
it's like to be a
You
parent.
could say like, all right, I'm staring
No,
at.
no. Okay, hold on,
I'm
stop.
staring
I'm gonna
at-
stop you. I'm gonna stop you just for a quick second because you guys are getting way far afield. But I
know.
wanted, I
I
wanted
didn't
just,
start this.
I
like,
want to
this.
just jump in and say this one thing because I feel like that argument applies in certain instances, but not in all. And here's an example. If you're talking about someone who is like, let's say health. Everyone thinks they're a fucking doctor until a doctor actually chimes in. If
Mhm.
I go to the doctor and they do the tests and all that stuff or whatever, I'm going to trust what they're telling me because one, they can do the tests, they can read them, they can explain what's happening. I am not going to go to my mechanic and ask my mechanic how my heart is. Okay. So in that case, yes, it makes sense that probably someone with the expertise and the knowledge and the experience can actually give us an answer when it comes to
I
things
mean,
like
where
that.
do you think trans people go to? Like fucking PetSmart or some shit like that? They go to doctors. like
Yeah,
I'm
but you're
sorry.
not a doctor. You're not a
No, no,
doctor.
no,
I'm not a
no,
doctor.
no.
None of us here are doctors.
No, that's
and that's
not what she's saying. See,
Like,
it goes back.
I'm
It
trying
goes
to get
back
what
to what
I'm
I
trying to
was
get what you're
saying.
saying.
No, it goes back to what I was saying. I'm saying like, because sometimes there are people who argue about this, right? And they've never exactly played sports themselves. And I'm saying that
But you
would it
still
be a bad
understand
argument
and
if I
know about
pointed
sports.
out that certain people haven't exactly played sports or have played them against the opposite sex, so they don't know like what the difference is between us
yeah.
Do you think like
physically
these
based.
random people like? But I mean, you do understand sometimes too. Like these women have played.
Do you?
Like, so you don't think like? All right, this is the weirdest shit.
Well,
now.
okay.
First,
Listen.
do you
I
even
can,
watch the fucking sports? Like, no, I'm talking to you. Do you even watch the goddamn sports that you're trying to fucking protest? Name me 5 teams from any female sport. Like, first, I'm not even trying to be a dick. Like, but I'm just saying.
Mari.
Does any of that?
I don't have to be transgender, Mari. I actually play
Like-
sports, or I have
No,
played
but what the
sports.
fuck does it like? Like, what the fuck is that? First off, if the fucking organization doesn't have a fucking problem with it, if the mass majority of the people don't have a fucking problem with it, unless they randomly just like wanted, just like the like one person was it from a couple teams or whatever, just want to get on their high Christian high horse or whatever and try to make a stance about
That's
it.
the
They're
thing.
like,
I think
no,
I
but
think that
like,
there would
but it's
be
like, no, if you
pushback
just have
from the
like,
players.
if no, it's like if you don't have like they're what they're pushing the shit on the players. You
No,
don't
I
think that
said
they
I think
can?
I
No,
think
there's
that
Like,
there would be
pushback from the
pushback
players.
from the players.
Yeah,
Like I
there's
think
already
if
pushback from the players,
but
from
there was
women
Yeah,
some like
players.
I've known some
what the ones that
people
were
who
fucking
literally
already
will walk
losing. Like
out.
you talking about like the one that was the fucking like swimmer that she came in 7th, the transgender one. The other one came in just dog shit some other time. Like
So
neither one of them fucking won.
just listen. What you have
I'm
to
just trying to wonder
understand is
why am I brought in this fucking conversation? Like,
dude, don't be in the
not one fucking thing.
conversation.
Like
All
this
I
shit
hear
is
is you
like
bitching and moaning.
I
Don't be in
mean,
the conversation.
for real, it was Yano and Vidal just like roping you in. Like Yano's ass is an asshole all the
not even
time.
this, but it's like, but honestly, I think it's like, I have like my end of the line kind of line about it because I see you guys fucking talking about this shit on fucking Twitter or whatever. I don't have a fucking problem with it. I've like, in all due respect, like, don't y'all can take it the way you will. The ones that have a big fucking problem with it, I find kind of goofy. Like, y'all can take it the way you is. Like, don't take it as any disrespect. But that's like really kind of how I feel. Do I know the actual like mainly facts? Like, I like read and look up shit, but am I a fucking expert? No, I'm not. But at the like end of the day, it's like it's like the people that are really digging for this shit, like not have them in and shit like that, or really just fucking watch like you're doing Tucker Carlson talking points mainly.
see
And I was
see
like,
that's
it just
that's
seems
what
like a
Not
that's
personal
what
Tucker
fucking
Carlson
hate.
talking points, and I'm going to
no
give you an example only because I am the sole woman here who has played sports with that has men and women, okay, and both, and they're separate.
I used to
Okay?
wrestle girls in high
Baseball
school.
was
It was
Yeah, well, okay,
fucking
that's good. That's
incredible.
great.
Like, so
But
what the fuck
that's
does
not in competition. That's not in
it wasn't
competition.
competition. It was state competition. If you are in the weight class, it's very, I mean, not very far in between. But yes, there was even a
Okay, you know
fucking
what? I
blind
would
girl
like
that
to
played.
see the
Like,
statistics
that
on
played.
that. But as someone
What do you need statistics? Like, you can look up. There's women that played
as
fucking high
someone
school football before. You can look that shit up too. Like, what the fuck are you
high
talking
no
about?
school, I
she's
would say
not
high
saying
school
that
is
there
different.
was women in there. I think what she's saying is
What-
that there was women that were successful at beating the men at the state level
I swear to
in
God, this shit
wrestling.
is fucking stupid. I'm gone.
I'm
Bro.
just,
Like, it's not even a race thing. It's just
All
I
I
don't
know
give.
is, all I
I
know is
really never wanted to have this
I
conversation,
would
especially
never I would
like
never want to be in the position where I have to actually compete against someone who's a biological male. I would not like that because I have trained with men, and I will tell you that it's great to train. It is like awesome to train because they really do push you. However, in a competition setting, I know I wouldn't have a chance. Not a chance. Now, I will say this. I have never competed against someone who was trans. So there may be a difference. It's possible, but I doubt there would be that much of a difference. That's just
There'd be
my
there'd be
layman's
somewhat of a difference, definitely,
I
because
yeah, there would be a
even
difference, but I just don't
hormonally,
know how much. But I
yeah.
can tell you in powerlifting, my like the male and female maxes are very different. They are very, very different. Don't get me wrong. There are women who can deadlift and push a lot of weight, but but on average, they are not doing the same numbers as men. But again, we would have to parse out what it would be like for trans people, and there's just so few that it's very difficult to tell at this
Okay,
stage of the
okay, follow. This is exactly what I'm talking about because I know that you know about these type of things. So this is exactly like you might be the person that might clear it up a little bit more because if I say that oh it only works for this or that, then in a sense that's special pleading, right? So that's why I was asking, like, is it a fallacious argument to really ask, like, no, do you know the difference unless you've actually been in sports and have experienced it?
I
And I
think it's
think
fucking stupid because you
he
can say it for legit
well
anything.
well
You can't
look,
just
hold on.
throw no fucking parameter
Well,
to say no. It
exactly.
only
That's what
matters
I'm
in
saying.
this fucking case. No,
No,
he's like
that's what I'm
you can't.
saying.
He's like you can't
He
tell
was
me
saying
I'm
it
wrong
earlier.
because you're not a Cuban from up north.
I
Like
just
you
No,
get
explained
what
that
I'm
there are
fucking
certain
saying?
circumstances.
Like
no. He was saying it earlier. He said that it's anecdotal, and I agree. And so, but at the same time, usually when I have these type of conversations with people, um, usually it's I'm not gonna lie, it's half the time I guess it's in my personal experience, so I guess it's anecdotal. But no, some people are talking about it and they've never really played sports or anything, and they're comparing the physiology between a male and a female, and I'm like, I just feel like you don't know because you haven't been put in those situations,
Nigga,
and
like what
I
team are
think
you
it's
playing for?
that's what I'm saying.
Right?
I think it's a
Why do
fallacious
you
argument,
care?
but that's how I feel.
But why do you fucking care? Like, do you watch the women's
No,
sports?
no,
Like,
no,
that's what I'm
no.
asking you again.
I
Do
don't.
you watch the women's
To be
sports that
honest,
you're
I
trying
don't.
to?
No, no, no. I never said that I cared. I'm bringing stuff up. This is just topical. This is just stuff that I'm bringing up just to talk about. I mean, to be honest, I'm a guy, so this isn't really a
I don't
problem
know. Maybe
that's
it's
in my
different for me because
backyard.
I've watched many different medias where like women have like been like physically active, like not porn, but like in a like competitive way. And I'm not even like I'm talking about like actual Greco-Roman wrestling, and I was talking about like professional wrestling and shit like that. And it's really you got to put a lot of trust, especially when you're a fucking woman or and a man. Like by that, that's no weight class
No,
throwing
but
motherfuckers,
that's
and
not
you
the
can.
same.
It is it's worse because you know how dangerous the
You're talking
fucking
about a
professional
medical
wrestling is.
professional, which is somebody who went to
Oh, you
school
do.
to learn. Yeah, I'm talking about Nova saying she said so do all medical professionals who treat sports injuries play sports. That's not the same. They're not
Yeah,
they're not
that's
playing
a really
sports and
bad
they're
one.
not critiquing. They're not
I mean, but there's two different separate things.
comparing.
There's like sports doctors
They're
and
not
then
comparing
there's athletes.
anything. That what they're doing is they're doing exactly what another doctor would do. It's just that even in the regular medical field, they're a specialist.
So do
So
you
it
think
would
like
just
a
be
foot
another
doctor would do the
specialist.
exact same thing as a throat doctor?
But I just said that they're a specialist.
I mean, but
So
yeah, but
if
you're trying
somebody
to
is a
dodge the
sport,
same thing too. You're
if
saying they're
somebody
the
is a
same, but they're
if
different.
somebody is a medical sports doctor, then
Yeah,
they're
but
going
you're
to
saying that they're
specialize
the
in
same.
injuries that
Yeah,
happen in that sport.
yeah,
Is
but
what
like
I'm saying.
when they're talking about like actually like the medical doctors, like maybe I mean assuming that you're talking about the
Kind of.
transition thing. I don't know. Like this is enough people. I think this is like kind of like fucking. Like I'm just
All
all
right,
wasting my fucking high.
Follow
Like,
says it's
but
Oh
complicated.
my
Hence
God. The
hence the
voice of reason
controversy.
has arrived. Please
Look,
let
follow
the
says
woman speak.
hold on, nigga, damn. Follow says it's
No.
complicated. Nigga, shut up.
No.
Follow says it's complicated, hence the controversy. Research
Mhm.
shows transitioning reduces performance and puberty blocking changes physiology a lot. But we do have examples of some trans women who have been breaking records.
oh, so you're just
There's
like
been
cherry
multiple.
picking shit, nigga? Like this is what I said before.
Oh,
You
Nigga,
are
that's
how
always
much?
fucking
shocking.
playing
How
what I'm
much?
Jeez.
fucking
Hold
doing.
on,
Wait,
hold on,
wait,
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 wait.
wait, wait,
This is
wait.
the
How
shit
am I
I
Wait, wait,
cherry
I got a
picking if there
question.
have been
Wait, I have a
You
multiple?
question.
There's been
no, because you're saying
multiple.
no, you're saying multiple. Okay, like you're doing
You
Yes,
know,
it's been
and I'm
multiple
approximately
that have
gonna
just
broke
because you pulled out
records.
listen. I'm also going to say that in
shut
those
up.
studies,
Hey,
even though they
no,
acknowledge that the
no,
performance is
no,
reduced, they
no, no,
still
no,
cannot
no. I'm
quantify
talking about
how much it is
why
reduced for
didn't
the rest of the people.
why didn't
Do
the
you
trans swimmer
understand that?
why did
No.
not why did not the trans swimmer that
Your
went for the
volume
Olympics
button on
win the fucking
Vidal.
gold?
Is
Please
my volume
tell me
that
that
high?
by your fucking basis, like what you
Yes.
fucking said.
Yeah,
Like
nigga, when you yell,
why
kind
didn't
of.
she win the gold then?
Well,
Why
I'm
didn't she
trying
win
to
the gold by her
get a point across because this
physiology? By
motherfucker
her
can't stop bogarting the
like what I'm
conversation.
saying.
He is constantly talking. Stop for a second. I wanted to point out that when Philo said is that yes, they have determined that there is a reduction in performance, right? However, they have been unable to quantify the actual amount of how that actually quantifies when it comes to an actual performance situation in which they are competing with other women. They cannot quantify that because, again, we do not have the studies. The numbers don't exist yet. So we are now stuck with knowing that it does reduce performance. However, they cannot conclusively tell how much. That's
All
where
Okay,
we're
right,
stuck.
Nova.
so
All right, Nova.
neither
What you about
neither
to
one
say?
of us are
Like
fucking
this is so
doctors.
fucking stupid.
How would
I'm actually a
anyone
doctor.
shut up? How would any of us
Oh yeah,
decide
good
to
God.
include
Shadow the
transit
OBGYN.
trans people into into sports? Would it be by weight class? Would it be depending on the sport? Because at this rate, like none of us are doctors. So as far as I understand it, trans women have to be underneath like a certain level of testosterone for up to like a year before they can even compete. So there's if you want to talk about hormones,
Everybody is.
there's something there to mitigate
Tito,
that.
I'm with you.
If you're in a
So I'm
professional
just
sport,
asking
no.
how the fuck they can do it.
If you're in a professional sport, you have your piss, shit, and all your blood all taken. You have to
That's what I'm
be
saying.
above a fucking testosterone at all. This is what I think this shit is so fucking
Okay,
stupid. Is because you
but
guys are
when
trying
it
to
comes to
argue about
certain,
some shit. Like you still
but
have to
then
even
it dep-
medically still
but
be
it's
in
the
the line
factor when
for.
it comes to certain things though, because
Yes, I agree.
even when you brought up the MMA thing earlier, like I said, even in men's MMA, there hasn't been anybody who had their skull cracked open. But
Oh,
the
God.
transgender
Just say
one,
you
she
hate trans people. Like what the
I
fuck is else you
I
just trying
don't.
to say? Because
I
you
I'm
guys
just
don't
sound
talking
like
about
you're
either.
in certain
taking
sports.
fucking into this.
When it
Like
comes
this
to
is fucking
something,
dumb. Like I'm sorry, y'all. All right,
when
later,
it comes
y'all.
to a
Because y'all
sport,
fucking like
Bye.
when it comes to a sport of you hitting your bones against somebody else, and then you have a heavier bone density, I think that's a big factor.
Also, I
Definitely.
feel like we can talk about people in the sports and trans people without hating them. No one here hates trans folks.
I
Vidal
think
does.
I do
Fidel does
not
not
hate.
hate trans people.
Yes, she does.
We shut the fuck up, nigga.
See, this is all your fault, Yato.
Huh?
This is
I
all your
he knew
fault.
what he was
really
doing when he
felt
did
like
it.
he
He
was
Yo,
always
getting
bring up
upset.
I
conversation.
didn't name this shit the Squabble Up stream for no reason.
Were you trying to
What up,
piss Tito off
Midwest?
It's
on purpose?
terrible.
I didn't understand why he
Probably.
was getting mad. I'm gonna be honest with you.
He was getting like
I
ridiculously
didn't
mad.
get
He
it.
kept Bogarting for nothing.
I was like, wait,
Tito does
why is
not
he
like this
upset?
conversation.
I was trying to figure out the whole time why he was actually mad.
Because he would rather talk about other things than this.
Well, then he could have just brought up a
At least
different
that's my.
subject instead of arguing about the same subject he didn't want to talk about.
He kept arguing it.
I
I
tried,
don't like
and
talking
Yato
about
went
apples,
right
but
back.
apples
BGL
are
did try.
I tried,
No, you
and
did
Yato
not.
was
You
like,
came in
"But
here
Beck,
and said
I
something
came in
random.
and asked
And
about
then I was like,
G-Man
okay, enough of that
and
randomness. And
I
then
talked
think
let's
about
get back to
G-Man's
what we
most
were talking
recent
about.
video," and you were like,
We're not about to
"But
sit here
back
and
to
talk
this."
about G-Man. Half
I
the
think
people who are around now don't even know who G-Man is
So,
in the
let's
first
like,
talk
place.
about the
Hey,
really,
can y'all
stats.
hear me?
Yato just yes, we
I
Yeah,
can,
we
do.
hear
but
And
you.
Yato just really wants to
Okay.
argue with motherfuckers tonight.
Nigga, this is
That's
called the
why he.
Squabble Up
See, that's
That's
stream.
why
why
I'm
he
literally
managed to get
look,
Vidal right next
go
to
look in
him.
the description.
That was
It
all
says,
this was
let's
about.
argue. That's all it says in the
I think he
description.
really wanted to
I'm
piss
literally
Tito
here to
off.
argue.
Why are you
Okay.
yelling at me?
Hold on.
I think he really
I
wanted
got,
to piss Tito off for some reason.
I got,
Nah.
Nah.
so I got two things. One, the first thing, to the story that y'all was talking about. I think it was Alan something or other. Who
Fallon
cracked the,
Fox.
Fallon Fox, who cracked the skull of that one woman, right? And
Hmm.
I think it
The
was
only other
somebody's
person who got their skull cracked was
Hermit
Chris
Washington.
Cyborg's. No, it was Chris Cyborg's husband. So there might have
By
been
the
two
way, I
people,
agree with you.
but it's
No, I
been
know.
rare.
But Hermit Washington cracked Rudy Tomjanovich's skull off his whole face, off of his skull, because of the way he hit him a long, long time ago. And that's not MMA,
Was it
that's
a knee?
basketball. No,
No,
he
no, no.
punched him in the face.
No, I'm talking about specifically in MMA. There's I think
No,
it's Chris
I know what you're
Cyborg's
talking
husband.
about. But what
It's
I'm
only
saying
one
is,
dude, just one. It's only one person, even in men's MMA, who has had their whole head caved in from
right.
somebody's knee.
Well, this is how did Fox it was a knee to the head?
I'm not
How was it?
exactly sure,
Because I thought
but
it was a orbital bone punch or something like that.
I know I'm not exactly sure, but I know that she cracked some shit and she cleared off
Well,
like 6 women before one of them finally got her.
so she ended up losing.
Yeah, after 6 straight wins and cracking somebody's skull open.
Okay. So for me, I guess that could easily be just another freak accident because it's happened so few times I don't think that, and men punch women all the fucking time. Like when men punch the shit out of women all the time.
Well,
You
what
don't
I'm
hear about
saying is
women get their
that
face
in
detached.
a
I think
in a
it's a freak
professional
accident type
setting,
thing.
when it comes to sports is what I was like basically saying. So when it comes to like in the cage, even in men's, because of course it was nothing but men's MMA before, and then they just recently I mean, women's MMA has been a thing for a while, but they just recently incorporated it into like the UFC and other
Uh-huh.
promotions and things like that. But as far as I know, in the history of it, there's really only like one dude who's had his head cracked open, and on the opposite end, there's only one woman who's had her head cracked open, and it's from Fallon Fox.
Right, but wouldn't those most likely be more likely to be written up as freak accidents instead of and the reason I said the reason
They're
I brought up men
outliers.
punching, yeah, the reason I brought up men punching women is because we have domestic violence in this country and all over the world. You don't hear stories about men punching women's faces clean off their head, like the skull fracture, like that kind of thing. You hear about men fracturing like orbital bones and cheeks and shit like that, but you don't hear about them cracking the entire face off.
Right,
And these
because
are guys that are way bigger
they're
than
not MMA,
non-fighter women,
because they're
right?
not MMA fighters. They're not
But there
trained,
have been,
and
there have
they're
been.
but okay, but they're not trained in how to hit
Christy
somebody
Mack. Christy Mack
in
got her
order
shit
in
pushed in
order.
cyborg and she didn't get her face detached. And he beat the
Well,
shit
no,
out.
because just because it didn't happen in that instance doesn't mean that he couldn't have did it, right? If
Right.
somebody understands how to fight, they know how to hit you in those points, they know the proper techniques, they're
Sure.
more likely to break a bone or
So
crack your
Well, I was
skull
what
just
rather
I
than
just wanted
what
to
is
I
somebody
your
just
off
wanted
the
to
point?
street.
hold on. I just
Yada,
wanted
what is
to
your
hold
point?
on. I
My
just wanted
my
to make that first. I just wanted to make that first. That was just my first thought. My second thought was,
mhm.
okay, so let's take Ohio for example. All right, Ohio passed legislation that prohibit trans kids from participating in high school sports. Right now, six trans kids played in high school sports in 2022 and 2023, and that's out of 400,000 kids in the entire state. And 0.3 to 0.6% of people in this country are identify as transgender. And I think
Mhm.
that
Yeah, it's like less than
that
1%.
yeah, between that fact and the fact that, and I ain't putting this on anybody. Don't take this as me saying this about anybody, but you, if you are against trans uh, people in sports of the opposite whatever section that they were born as, and I'm putting quotation marks up,
Mhm.
then you stand on the same side as all of the bigots. And I'm not saying that you are a bigot, but what I'm saying is you are on the same side using some of the same arguments that the bigots use.
Well, I don't see it as, so here's my thing, right? Um, I'm usually base all of my arguments off of something that I can prove, right? If somebody shows me exactly where I'm wrong, I have no problem conceding and changing my view on it. But like I've said before, when it's shown that um there was a trans male boxer, and he's been beaten up by everybody. I think he has like one win. He can't compete with everybody else. He's not a factor at all. Um, and there's not really too many examples of trans males in male sports, because I don't think that they can even really get up to
Are
that
you
level, to be honest.
are you suggesting then that trans people should not be allowed to be in sports?
It's not shouldn't be allowed to. And that's why I asked Vidal earlier. I'm
Or
like,
that
I
trans
don't
people
I
should be
don't
allowed to be in a like trans women compete with trans women and trans men compete with trans men?
but like Midwest said, there's such a small percentage, like you can't even really do that. And that's why I asked earlier. I'm like, what's really the
Because there's
solution?
more
Because
sports than
there are
just
people who have
MMA and
there are people.
boxing.
Yes, but I'm saying that those are MMA and boxing are two things that have to do with your bones. It's bone on
Yes, but
bone.
there's
You're hitting
more.
somebody with your fist. And when it comes to male and
Mhm.
females, bone density is a big changer.
Yes, but
Big
there's more
changer.
sports. There's more sports than just sports that involve bone on bone
That's true, but
contact.
even when you start boiling down to certain things, right? Like we were talking about the WNBA earlier. There's Nate Robinson is only like 5'8", but he can still dunk, right? But
Hmm.
there's only, like I said, there's only, I can count on one hand how many women have been able to dunk in WNBA history, and that's on the same
I
foot rim.
Mari, I agree with you on this. Like I don't think that a bunch of people who are living their life in the gender they were assigned at birth should be making all of the decisions for trans people
I
in the
don't think
first
that's
place.
really a
Like
factor, because I don't think you
Yeah,
have
I
to
don't
be
think so
I,
either.
transgender to talk about this. The same way
no,
that
I don't
I
think
don't
that
feel
I
like
don't think
I
that
don't feel
I
like you
agree
have
with you. Like
I don't
I don't think
She
you
said
have
make
to
the
be transgender
decisions.
to talk about this, but I don't feel like transgender people should be excluded from this conversation. I feel like if we were to sit here and
Well, they're
talk
not
about
excluded.
how
There's
a
nobody here.
I know, but I'm just
If
saying
there
that
was
if
a
we were to sit
transgender
here and
here, they'd
talk,
be more than welcome to
yeah, no,
come
I
up, but there's
understand
not
that.
one
I'm
here.
just saying that if we're talking about how to resolve an issue, and the problem is for trans the problem is transgender people's problem, right? It's not like
No, it's
I
everybody's
I I,
problem.
I hear what
I
you're
don't agree
saying,
that
Vidal, but
No,
really,
yeah, it's
really
it's
the
not just their
problem is
problem.
it's not just
no
their
the
problem.
no, I hear
No,
what you're
it's not.
saying, but the problem is transgender people's problem. Like when in the 1960s during civil rights, the problem was black people's problem. It was our problem
No, it
when
wasn't just our problem
yes,
either.
but
It
it was
wasn't.
Even then,
everybody's
it wasn't just
problem, but
our
it was
problem.
our
It
problem.
was white. It was also white people's problem, which is why it
I
got
understand
overturned.
what you're
Because
saying.
you understand
I
that we needed
understand
a
what you're
certain
saying,
well, hold
but
on,
I'm
let me
saying that the
finish.
people who are being
Hold
left
on,
out of the
VGL,
conversation, the people who
VGL,
are
hold on.
being
Let me finish what I'm
no,
saying
let me
first.
finish because you had the floor all night,
No,
Yaddle.
because
The people
even
who are
no, even in that
Let,
analogy,
let her finish.
there were
Let her
still
finish.
no, there were still white people
go ahead and
who had
finish.
to agree on us doing civil rights. It's not like only black people had the power to overturn it. We still needed
I
white people to be go
understand
along
what
with
you're
it in order for
saying.
things to change.
But what I'm saying is, in this conversation, the people who are being excluded, so to speak, the people who are the problem people, so to speak, are transgender people. And I hope that anybody who hears this understands that I don't think transgender people are problem people. But all these solutions, all these things, all this stuff that we're talking about is revolving around transgender people, just like in the 1960s. All that was revolving around black people. That's what I'm saying. The problem is transgender people. It's their problem.
Well,
Just like in the 1960s, it was our problem.
I
That's
do
all
want to
I
point
mean
out
when
that
I say that.
there's something slightly different here. I do want to say this because I want to address what Mari says, because Mari says that, for a fruitful conversation there should be a transgender person in the argument. I don't believe that that's true, because again, the problem is that we can't actually have a fruitful and meaningful conversation about this at all right now, because we don't have any of the data to show what the actual
Hmm.
long-term what the long-term issues could actually be. We don't know. There's, like you
But aren't you
pointed
for
out,
barring trans people from sports in general?
I
Or
no,
mean, how
are
can
you
you
for
give
or are
I'm
you for
not.
long-term
studying
data
it?
without
Or are you for studying it? I'm asking.
I am not for barring them. I am on the side that I can see the issue long term as it stands currently. Should we study it? Yes, of course. There's nothing wrong with studying that.
How will we
But I'm
study it if we
saying,
don't have any people playing?
well, see, that's the thing. I
Mm.
think the medical field has to get in line with what they're actually deciding here, because they're all
Is
over the
less
place.
than 1%.
It's
That's the
point
other
0.6.
factor too.
Yeah.
It's really not like
We put a lot of
there's
energy
there's
towards less than 1%.
there's not
yeah.
really that many people to even study about it,
And
and
Hmm.
you
that's
Yeah.
know,
the other factor too.
I think that that's a great point. There's not that
Which
many
means
people to study about it, so
Mm-mm.
such a big
it's
issue.
not the big
And the second thing is Marty is right. So when we have discussions about women's health and women's reproductive rights, should we just be like 12 dudes talking about how what we think women should
But that
do and how
doesn't mean that we can't, because
we
I don't
can?
feel
But
like
I
it seems
mean, they do,
I
and
don't
that's
feel
the
like, hold
problem.
on, wait. I don't feel like, I'm not one of those people who feel like white people can't sit around and talk to other white people about black people's problems. If they understand the facts, and
Well,
it's
white
there's
people can't sit around in
at
a
the end
group
of the
alone
at the
and
end of the
solve black
day,
people's
there
problems.
there's at the end of the day, there's facts, right? And then there's, like they always say, the feelings and stuff. There's what's real and there's what's not real. At the end of the day, if a bunch of white people are sitting around and they're talking about the facts of what happened to black people and how it affected them and stuff like that, I have no problem sitting there listening to white people talk about black issues. I have no problem at all. I'm not one of those people who feel like you have to be black in order for you to sit there and talk about the not the experience of a black person, right? Because that's something that they could still talk about, but they wouldn't exactly know. But if you're just talking about what goes on in the black community or what black people deal with, and you have numbers and data and raw facts to back that up, I don't. Why can't you talk about it? If I'm talking about
I'm not
a
talking
fox,
about having a
and I'm
They
talking
conversation.
can
about
talk
what
about the facts. They
if I'm
can't talk
talking
about
about
the
what a
feelings.
marble fox looks like, if I'm talking about what a marble fox looks like, and I'm talking about what environment it grows up in, if I'm talking about what color it is and things like that, these are just facts, right? I can talk to you about that all day, and I think that there's a certain point that I don't think everyone really differentiates when it comes to that whole thing. Is that there's a point where we're talking about an experience, and then there's a point where we're just talking about the raw facts of the matter.
But we're
see that's
talking
the
about a
problem.
subject that doesn't even have enough data to even talk about facts. We're talking about random outliers of some people getting their head smashed in. And even then, we don't know the full detail about those things. So this whole conversation kind of ends up in a whole loop.
Right.
Taylor, I agree with you.
I think I think my takeaway from the whole argument, and again, this is no condemnation on any individual person, right? But if, like, for me, I don't want to get too political about it, but like, let's
Mm.
take like
We don't have
MAGA.
a next topic yet.
Right. Hold on.
Yes,
I
we
Let's
know,
do.
go.
really.
I got
We
topics. I got stuff.
oh,
Okay.
then go ahead, jump to it. Jump to it. I was gonna say something, but go ahead, jump to it.
No, finish
No,
off.
go
No,
ahead.
go ahead
Finish
and
what
finish
you. I
off.
was reading Sky's
Okay.
comment.
So if you find yourself making a lot of the same arguments as MAGA and just slightly less to the right of
That is
MAGA.
such a terrible
No, it's
road
not.
you're going down.
Hold on.
It's just
Time out,
goofy.
time out. Let me
It's just
It
finish.
it
goofy.
is though, because a broken clock can be right twice a
Oh,
day.
Yeah.
If that broken clock makes 10 arguments, all 10 arguments are gonna be right.
No, that's
We're
not
not
what I
talking
said.
about it. That's no.
But that's what I'm
I
saying.
said a broken clock can be right
Okay.
twice a day.
Next
So that means
Right.
sometimes there might be an argument. See,
boy,
and
look at the
I've talked about this
time.
before.
Right?
I'm look, I'm really glad that, like, when I was in elementary school, uh my teacher had to sit there and argue for something, and she chose the sides for us, and I had to argue against something that I didn't even agree with, and it was one of the best things that I ever did, because it puts you on the other side, and sometimes you have to think about things from the other side and really explain if you got really have to think about if that argument stands, or if it's actually, based in fact, or is if it's based in reality and things like that. There are things where some left wingers are fucking ridiculous, absolutely fucking ridiculous. And on
Can we
this
point
and
one
on this
out?
and on the
Because
same
Of
sense,
course, of course.
but on the same
Oh
sense,
my
there are some
god.
people who are all right or who be on the MAGA shit, and they every now and then they might say something that's actually true.
Hold on,
Like,
Sky. I'm gonna go do something. Hold
those
on.
two things can both be true. It doesn't mean that I endorse anybody who's MAGA or alt right, but it doesn't, like, you take it point by point. If somebody makes a good point, you
All I'm
You give
saying
them
is
that credit for that
the
point.
people that you might be getting in league with for these good points and for
That's-
this hold on, the people you might be getting in league with might be taking those points. And sure, let's just say that you're right, absolutely right. A MAGA person could be right. Trump has said things that are true. It's not like just because you believe in one thing that everything you say is false, obviously. Right. But if that person's time is using the strength of your argument, right, to then go, okay, so now that we got these trans people out of sports, what's next? And you can say that I'm playing slippery slope all day, but I'm not, because it's not like we don't have evidence of these people doing these things.
What?
But it is a slippery slope fallacy.
Okay, I just want to point one out. I'm going to want to point an example out because Yato gave me this example. Okay. And it's something that I have found that even with people who tend to agree on certain things, that this is something they kind of are split on, right? We've heard of defund the police, right? If you think about that slogan in and of itself, tell me how ridiculous that sounds. To defund the police. Well, are we saying that we just don't want any police? Are we saying that we should reduce the police? Like, what are we actually trying to go for that? And there are a lot of
everybody
people
who's stated that if you ask somebody what defund the police means, the people who came up with it, they'll tell you that it's not about abolishing the police. Now, there are people who are about
there are
abolishing
people
the police,
who believe that,
but the defund the police people were never it didn't start off as if you just said defund the police and walked away. Sure, everybody could just say,
but
well, you
this is
sound
the
like
problem,
an
and this is the problem with what you're saying, because there are a lot of people who come away with very different ideas of what that actually means. That is the problem.
Well, here's what I think it means. Here's what I think it means. How do dreams provide valuable information that can help you when you're awake?
All right,
Anyway,
I'm
as
about
I
to
was
get this
saying, the
nigga.
whole point.
Excuse me.
I was trying to change the topic, y'all. Come on.
You know it's Friday, right? Like I don't have work tomorrow. Like I've already smoked. You're tripping. I don't even know what you said.
Jobs are
I
for
said,
suckers.
how do dreams provide valuable information that can help you when you're awake?
What about
I
my
mean, if you
dream
can
about
lucid
me being a
dream,
tentacle monster taking over Vidal's body?
Well, I
What's
mean that
that
doesn't
supposed to mean?
necessarily
Why are
always
you going
work
there?
because I don't necessarily always have dreams. So
I don't
My
dream.
dreams lately have been so wild and lucid. It's
that
been
means you got
crazy.
problems.
Like I've
No,
had
I
some
don't
dreams that
dream.
have left me shook.
You're not living.
I'm glad I
right.
don't dream.
Lucid dream fun. I'll tell you
You're
that much.
definitely not living right when you're having realistic dreams.
Why do you say
Oh,
that?
when you
what?
when you
What
you
does that
have
even
those
mean?
dreams, when you have those dreams where like you're asleep and then like you wake up and then you have no idea if that actually happened because it seems so much like real life and it wasn't something that wasn't based in fantasy, that's when that shit gets scary.
Yeah,
I
had a dream
I
like that.
predicted all of my jobs based off of my dreams. I've visioned my dreams were
Nigga,
me
shut
there
up.
at my
I don't believe that.
That sounds a
No,
little
I'm fucking
rude.
dead serious. So
I
my
know you're
first
dead serious, but I don't
job
believe you.
My first
Yeah.
job out of college, I visioned my whole cubicle office. Just all of my coworkers were like black faces, like they were just all scribbled out and shit. And then when I got there, I sat in my my fucking office, and I was like, "Wow, I'm having deja vu." And I'm like, "Oh shit, it was my fucking dream from like fucking
Or
2
maybe it
years
was a
ago."
premonition and you imagined what it was going to look like.
God, I
Those are
hate
my
you,
dreams.
Shadow.
Apparently, a deja vu is supposed to be a mix-up between your short-term and your long-term memory.
I got a lot of short term.
Yeah, that's
I'm
what I'm
pretty
saying.
sure.
So you think if you because think about it. Okay, let's go to some existential shit, right?
Good job,
Because
BGL.
people think There's a lot of people who think like spirits exist and that souls exist and shit like that. I'm not one of those people. And the reason I'm not one of those people is because if there is a place for souls, right? Either there has to be a place that's making souls, or let's just put soul as the
Mm-hmm.
word instead of trying to
Yeah,
put
Soul
all the
Depot.
different words. Right, like Soul
No, we
Depot.
can use soul.
Right. So you know, you have either souls existed or there's something that's creating souls. So we got the what 14.5 billion years that I didn't exist. Where was I for those 14.5 billion years?
You was bumping around in purgatory, rapping to
No, you
people,
were.
and niggas was telling you to shut up.
I was battle
They were like,
rapping.
"Oh
I
my
was battle
god,
rapping
please put
nothingness.
Midwest on
You
Earth."
was like, yo,
Goddamn.
I swear to God, in like 13 billion years, this shit gonna hit.
I'm ahead of my time, son.
Well, you're
You think
thinking
there's
of
a
it
soul
differently than other
depository?
people, because I know there's other people like Hindus. They believe that you get reincarnated.
See, now I don't understand
Well, I
reincarnation
mean,
because I've never looked into
that's a
it.
Hindi, that's a Hindu practice,
Yo, you know what I just
Hindu and
found out?
Buddhism.
I
I
am
found
not
this out.
Vaughn.
Hold on, real
I'm
quick,
not
time
Vaughn.
out. I just found this out recently. I'm gonna just double check it real quick. Go ahead, keep talking, y'all.
You gonna tell us to stop?
Hold on, no, I want to double
All
check
right,
it first.
I know. I got something for y'all. All right, so I got something for y'all, right?
Is it
So
350?
recently,
So we're
shut
just
up.
recycled, Taylor?
Okay,
No,
hold on.
nigga,
I
shut
got
up.
it. I got it. Hold on, real quick.
No,
It's a little factoid. It's a little factoid. All right, so
all right, go
Hindus,
ahead.
right?
It better
The
be
word
good.
Hindu, it actually originates from the Sanskrit word for the river in that area, the Sindhu River, and it's the Indus River that runs through northwest India, and the Persians are the ones who mispronounced it and started calling them Hindus. So it's a lot of people who are quote unquote Hindu consider that to be a term that's kind of like fuck. Just so you know.
Nigga, shut up.
It sounds like
So
most
as I was saying,
places.
No hate.
Somebody labeled someone and then it just
so,
stuck.
so recently, our Lord and Savior and Dr. Umar.
Oh
Oh my
god,
God.
god damn.
Oh, God.
And you just told me to shut up.
Yeah, I don't
Dr.
He went
wanna.
on the
Umar.
Joe Budden. He went on the
I
Joe
hate you
Budden
even more
podcast,
now.
Bro.
and he started talking about interracial relationships, and he's talked about this before.
That's right. You
And
don't get to talk about
Ooh, that's a topic I'm good
black
on. Let's
people
go.
anymore. Yeah, I don't.
so, like I was saying, so so
I need to
Umar
look down
Johnson.
for a second.
So Umar Johnson brought up interracial couples, and just generally, I want to ask y'all, as black folks on the panel, how do you guys feel about interracial couples?
The
Or
hell's Indian?
and I'll put a
cares?
little extra on
Ooh,
it.
ooh.
How do you feel about generational wealth within the black community relating to interracial couples?
What?
I want a piece of this
Generational
Talking
action.
about the fact
generational
that
wealth staying within the black family, because that's one of his arguments, is that if you're a black man and you date a white woman, then when you have kids, they often date white, or they have a
I
white
don't think that
family,
that's
and
true.
then
I don't know where he
and
got
and
that
then
He's
from.
gonna have to show
well,
some.
it's statistically it is true.
I need to see that because I've
I
never
don't
seen that
believe that.
before.
I
And
don't
I,
believe.
you know, I
Did you
follow
say
Cynthia
most?
G,
Okay.
and
Some
Cynthia G shows the statistics. I'm gonna have to see
Yes,
that.
Cynthia G has also talked about it, but she was actually right, because I looked that shit up for myself.
I mean,
Yeah,
I gotta see
I don't
that.
believe this.
But
okay.
Look it up. The whole thing
okay,
is, like
so
I said, his argument is that if you marry outside of your race, then the wealth or whatever you build won't come back to your own community or your people.
That's bullshit. Because the wealth that you build doesn't necessarily need to be the wealth that you have in your community. You can build wealth in your community in multiple ways. Who you
exactly.
marry and love has nothing to do with that.
And here's another thing that I thought about too. If I'm black and I'm doing well, in a sense, that doesn't mean that all black people are doing well, right? But I'm still a black person doing well.
Right? Yeah. But how does that take away? That's the part that I don't get. Like, see, all right, so I'm a product of interracial marriage, and I'm also in an interracial
Really?
relationship. Yes, I'm half Puerto Rican and half black.
No one would ever
Yes.
know.
I would have
Nah,
never guessed.
Oh,
I
Oh
mean,
my
I thought
goodness.
well,
I thought them green eyes was contacts.
I thought it was a Snapchat filter.
No, but go ahead.
so for me, because I've had being an interracial person, I've had to deal with a lot of interracial shit. Being Puerto Rican and black, and Gato, you know the
Would
fucking
you but
perils
would
that.
you call it interracial though? Because the only reason why I asked that is because my dad has always told me that I'm not interracial. He wasn't in an interracial relationship, and he was somewhat right because my mother has two black grandparents. So he was like, your mama and them basically black. So like, do you feel like it was interracial?
I do, because I can trace my family back to Puerto Rico, and I can trace my family back to Africa. That's interracial.
In my
Puerto
family,
I
Rico
mean,
has
I
Taino.
would,
Puerto Rico has black. I understand that,
I
but what
would
I'm
agree,
saying
but I'm
is,
saying, did you grow up as them treating you as interracial? Because, um,
who is
aren't
them?
we
like
You
I
said
said,
all?
they.
I was gonna say,
like
aren't we
your
all
family.
considered interracial?
No.
All right,
I mean like your parents and your family.
all right.
Because for
I'm
me,
black.
Black.
everybody
But
was
like
pretty much
PGL, if you
all
did your
together.
DNA test and it was like, oh, you got like
I
10%
don't trust
European
them
in you.
people.
Yeah, but that
Don't
shit
let
don't
me find
matter.
that out.
Those DNA
No,
tests
but
are
Five.
I'm
That's
notoriously
the
bad.
real.
But no,
Oh
I
my
gotta
no,
like.
god.
Like
no,
So
but
right.
I'm asking Midwest because
That's the
me and him both are black and Puerto Rican, but the black side of my family was very inclusive. And the Puerto Rican side of my family, there's a bunch of black people on that side too. So they were also very inclusive. So I'm
see,
asking him
that's where your
if
shit
he
is
had the
different from
same
my shit.
experience, or was it actually
No,
interracial
we
for him?
only had a few dark Puerto Ricans in our family, right?
Hmm.
And most of my family is Puerto Rican white, right? And my mother was albino, and so that created a lot of weird
Oh,
shit too.
word?
Yeah,
She was
absolutely.
albino?
Yeah, my mother was albino, and
See,
so that
everything
created a
else I
lot
was
of.
asking you about, I just wanted you to talk about it because I already know, but I know your mama was albino.
Yeah, so people thought my mother was white, which created a lot of weird things that happened, because there's like, for instance, there was one time like we was leaving out the laundromat, and my brother pulled up, and my mom put a bag at the front, and my brother walked in and grabbed the bag, and that lady was like, hey, where you going with that? And he was like, I'm putting it in our car because
Oh
it's my
my
laundry.
god, nigga.
And
Oh
this
my
lady wouldn't
god.
even
I
listen
used to
to my
hate that.
mother, wouldn't even listen to my mother. She's like, that's my son. And she's like, nah. And my mother, Puerto Rican woman, she almost beat the shit out of her. It took us saying, look,
That
just look, you don't need to
that
go to
was
jail
always
today.
the worst. That was
Right.
always the worst, like especially like on parent teacher night, and they're like, "Who's that
Yep.
lady?" And I'm like, the fuck do
Exactly.
you
Now
mean? Who's
imagine
that
me
lady? That's
walking
my
in with a
mom."
blonde white woman. Imagine
Oh.
me walking in with a blonde white woman talking about, that's my mama. you know? So I understand uh how rough it is to grow up dealing with like colorism, because like the Puerto Rican side of my family, we got treated like shit. Like we got treated
Mhm.
like second class citizens. Like my cousin, who was a cousin by marriage, one Christmas, right? My uncle. Okay, so just a real quick backstory. I got a cousin who was born through malpractice, and they fucked his shit up. He was quadriplegic, so he was worth millions of dollars, and he went live with my uncle. So my uncle will host Christmas every year at his big
You
ass
broke up a
house.
little bit.
You can hear me still?
You hear me? You broke up a little bit. Go back some. No, we can hear you
Okay.
now, but go back a little bit.
All right. So my uncle basically took care of my rich cousin, who was rich because he was a quadriplegic, because the doctors fucked up and they sued him. Right. So we used to have Christmas at this big ass mansion house, right? And all this is being said because it's pertinent to the story. My uncle would get presents for everybody, right? And he got my cousin like white leather boots that was like $250. He got a bunch of shit for my other cousin, like stereo system and shit like that. They got me two things. One, my aunt got me a shirt that was purple and brown. I don't even know how the fuck you even make a shirt that's purple and
Ew.
brown to this
That's
day.
nasty.
those colors don't even match, right? And the other thing they got me was a fucking keychain that was inside of one of those little like vacuum packed plastic things, and it was so like tightly stuck in there. You know what I'm talking about? It was like a little basketball. I opened it, I jerked it open, and it fucking broke. And that's the kind of shit that happened to us. Like we got treated like shit like my entire life by the Puerto Rican side. The black side of my family, they didn't give a fuck. They was all inclusive.
That's nuts because especially on my Puerto Rican, like one of my grandma's favorites, and like my aunts,
my
some of my
grandmother
aunts,
was.
her
Go ahead,
her
I'm sorry.
little sisters, all of my grandma's younger sisters were darker than her. My grandma pretty much was the lightest, and she had like a black brother and then like a white brother, and her other brother was the lightest too, her little brother. So everybody was like, everybody was black on my grandma's side for the most part, and then other people were Puerto Rican and Mexican and stuff like that. But for the most part, everybody was black, like everyone. And so even when we took family pictures, that was one of the things that my great aunt, my grandma's youngest sister, and my grandma, like, it's one of the things that they kind of prided themselves on was the fact that a Puerto Rican family has all different kinds of colors within it.
Man, I wish I was in your family.
But I think it was a little bit. I think it was a little bit different though, because like my grandma's mom was black, like she's black as shit.
Yeah.
I have a
my
question for
grandmother.
you too.
No.
Fuck you.
Thank you.
Growing up, did anyone make you choose like a race, being interracial? Like, did anyone outliers
people
be
in your
like,
life?
hey, yeah, they'd be like, are you choosing
yeah.
to be black? Or are you choosing to be Puerto Rican? Like,
people wouldn't choose. People would never ask me. It was mostly black people who would tell me, nah, nigga, you black. Like I'd be like, I'm black and Puerto Rican. Nah, nigga, you black. That's just that was the thing from where I was from. It was just people didn't really accept the fact that it was like it was the one drop rule showing his ugly head. And it's weird that you say that,
except for when it's convenient, because
except for when it's convenient.
Except for when it's convenient, because the minute that a nigga get mad at you, he start calling you all types of everything else. And it's a little different from me over here, because on the West Coast, like, and there's not really that many Puerto Ricans. It's not a Puerto Rican heavy
That's
area,
why I don't
even
believe the
over
Puerto
here in
Rican.
Las Vegas.
I know you're Mexican.
See, look, exactly what she said. That's exactly what it would be.
Just kind of
but he hasn't said vato or essay once. What?
Or foo.
That's stereotypical.
Or foo
You don't
without the
all do
L.
He said foo all the time.
What up, foo?
That's not the point.
He says
though.
it.
They got that. They got that from us.
Yeah. No, I get you, dude. It's funny that's such a vast different experience, because when my grandmother found out that my mother got pregnant by a black guy, they disowned her. She was like, she was out on the street.
So back to what the main topic was.
I forgot.
I swear to God, I'll fuck you up. You better answer my dream question.
Nigga, shut up.
Yes.
So, like I was saying,
please.
Do you believe that there is an advantage of black people marrying other black people and not interracially dating to keep generational wealth?
An advantage?
Mm-hmm.
What's the wealth part? I'm confused.
I think it. What does it matter? Because it depends on where you spend your money. It don't matter where you like who you have your, because it's not like if your other half is white, you can only go to like what Whole Foods and buy shit. I don't know.
Well, could I
if
elaborate
keep your money
on the question?
Yeah, please, because
I don't understand the question. Like,
I don't either.
Who's supposed to be advantaged? Because the fact is, it's still in the family, right?
Like,
right, that's what I'm saying.
With all black people,
and that's what I'm saying. If you live
anywhere
with somebody that's not black and you spend your money and with black vendors and with black businesses and do black shit like that.
Here's the narrative.
No, perfect. Scott Fieri is pointing it out. He's saying, wasn't he saying this in regards to Vanessa Bryant? Yes, that is the exact regards that he was bringing up. Vanessa Bryant is Kobe Bryant's wife. So Kobe Bryant passed away, and Kobe Bryant passed away, and his daughter passed away, and they're saying that she has Kobe Bryant's money. And his argument is that now that
Hello.
money is not being spread around in the black community because Kobe Bryant's dead, and because he didn't marry a wife who was also black. Now that money is also not being spent in the black community.
There
Basically,
was no
that's what I mean
guarantee
by
if
Not
he married a
not
white.
so
I mean,
much
there's no guarantee if
not
he married
so
a black woman that it would have went back into the
exactly.
community either.
And
It's
she got
not
with
so much.
him. Wasn't she
exactly.
with him before he got his money?
Hmm.
No,
And
And
it
Also,
it's
why are
not
wasn't.
we
so much.
pocket watching a widow? Like,
Wasn't
I
she
don't.
with
he's
him?
been
Wasn't
in.
she with him from high school?
No. She was a supermodel when he got to be in the NBA. No,
Yeah,
he met her
he
after he got to
proposed
the
to her
NBA.
after he
So
had
she
that
had her own
scandal.
money.
It's not so much that it's where the money is going to be
I
spent.
think I
It's
think he
about
took
generational wealth in the black community, right? Like
I
when
think he
you
took
die.
Moesha. He took Brandy. That's yeah. He
He
took
took
Brandy
Moesha.
to
He took Moesha
yeah
to the
yeah.
prom.
No, but he took her to prom. Yeah,
Yeah.
my bad.
But
Go ahead,
yeah,
He
BGL.
sure did. He sure did take Brandy to prom. Like when you die and you leave your estate, your inheritance to your children, and
Mm-hmm.
just
nah,
like
fuck
the
them
white
kids.
people do. Thank you. But like that, not that there's not money being spent in the black community, but that the black community is not building generational wealth within itself because the threat is he died and now all of his money went to a white woman who's gonna put that money back into her white
She's
family and
not
But
it's
didn't
even
they
more
have
white.
white
but didn't they have
generational
children?
wealth.
Yeah.
His
What
daughter,
about
But
his
I don't.
children?
That's what
how
Oh,
did
that
I
that
keep
doesn't
happen?
matter.
thinking. What
That
about
doesn't
his
matter
children? Are
because
you saying that his children aren't black now?
Yeah, that's
no,
what
they're not black
Yes.
because his mother's a snow bunny. Number one, and number
She's not
two, because
white.
Did
all
you just say that they're not
us.
bl-
Yes, this is what
okay,
I'm.
I can't.
This is what.
Vanessa Bryant
No,
is
Okay,
no, I
not
don't.
white.
Wait. I don't think
let
BGL
me
was actually
finish. Let
espousing
me
that
finish
thought
what I'm
process.
saying.
Let her
Hi,
finish her
This is
Hannibal's
thought.
what
lawn
people
service.
are saying. This is the threat. This is the narrative that they're saying to get people worked up. These people aren't black. They're mixed, and mixed people aren't black. They aren't white. They're whatever they say
Is
they
she
are. But they're
isn't she
stealing from
Hispanic?
the black community. They're
She is
stealing
Hispanic.
from she's whatever, but they're still not calling these kids black, and it doesn't belong to them. It belongs
Let's jack
to the
up.
black community. All of this wealth, they
Yeah, and
talk
you know
about
what the
this with
sad part is?
basketball players,
If
football
Gigi was
players,
still
all these
alive,
rich
and Kobe
people.
Bryant's daughter was still alive, and she went all the way up to the WNBA, and
Hmm.
she was balling on niggas the way that she was that we seen in her early years before she passed. I guarantee you, all types of people will be calling her black. They wouldn't even question that
Hmm.
she's Hispanic. That's the sad
Hmm.
part.
Yeah, but
I still don't
because
understand why we're pocket watching a widow's
a
money.
widow, because this is the kind of stuff that Dr. Umar does, like
Yeah,
whatever.
this
But yeah,
first of
that's
all, we talking about Dr. Umar, so we got to
mm,
remember who we
I
speaking
just
of.
I think it's weird. It's like the kids don't exist or something. Like
He's a
yeah.
weirdo. He got
No,
Well, I
no,
married
mean,
no.
to.
So
because
do you want to
rich
hear a cope?
rich
Do
black
you want to
people's
hear a
money
cope that
belongs to the
Dr.
black
Umar does?
community.
So
Isn't
here's a
that
big cope that he does.
suspicious?
So one time he brought up the whole interracial relationship thing, right? I think he was
Hannibal's
talking to
lawn
Charlemagne
service.
the God, if I remember correctly. And he basically said, "What about Frederick Douglass? Frederick Douglass had a white wife." And
Exactly.
he was like, yeah, but he married a black woman and he had kids with that black woman, and
And
then
he
blah blah blah. And
cheated
I'm
on
like,
that black woman with those white women
with the white wife. And
in
here's
his
my thing
house in
too.
front of his
That
black wife.
that doesn't make him any less of an abolitionist. It doesn't make him any that was another thing that
It
I
just
keep
makes
seeing
him
people
super
say too. They're like,
dusty.
if you date interracially, you're not pro-black. But are you going to tell Frederick
Fuck
Douglass
them.
that because later on in his life he got a white wife that he wasn't one of the catalysts to freeing all the slaves? Why would
Right,
you ever say
exactly.
that? Who in their
That's some
right mind
stupid
would
shit.
fucking think that? Exactly.
do you know?
Of
Yaddle,
I
course
don't
he
know if
would
cared
you
about
answer
black
Hannibal
people.
on? Would you
I
answer
don't give a fuck
Hannibal's
about no
lawn
foodie
service
beauty.
question?
I'm not talking
No,
about no
let's talk
fucking
about
foodie. I don't make
fetishes.
that shit.
Let's talk about fetishes.
Let's talk
No, I
about
just wanted to
fetishes.
point this out real quick because I sent you like the links because I've been listening to like the old Malcolm X speeches. Do
No.
you know that they discussed that back then during the civil rights movement?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But they
yeah, I know.
they didn't like the fact that Frederick Douglass had a white, and they named all these people, and I was just
Yes.
like, "Oh my
Yeah.
god."
So that's one of the things that I was gonna get into when it came into my pseudoscience nigga shit. There were a couple of people from the Nation of Islam
Oh
who
god.
they're the ones who went around spreading this type of propaganda in the
Mhm.
first place. I have a bunch of their old debates. It's multiple people. It's not even just Malcolm X.
No,
It's
it's not just
multiple
him.
people.
It's lots of
Mm-hmm.
people.
Multiple. They would go on talk shows. All types of old videos
Yup.
from the 80s. From the 80s.
Yes.
They were back
Mhm.
there sitting there talking. I even found one where they're sitting there talking about how black people are native to America.
People say that a
Based
lot. Afro
based off
indigenous.
of yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
They talk about what's his face's whoever Chris 1492 Columbus. I couldn't even get it
Christopher
out.
Columbus.
I had to say that horrible thing. But anyway, they talk about his diaries in Spain, seeing people with skin like black as night.
Mm-hmm. And no, they had gold tip spears. So they say that they're, and don't get me wrong. It's not that I don't think that there might have been like, no, it's not like everybody for some reason thinks that Africans are some stupid ass niggas who just like stayed where they were at. Like, of course, you're gonna tell me that out of millions of people that lived in one continent, that nobody got on the boat and went somewhere else. You're gonna tell me like if other people in other places, uh, had at least one person who was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go over here and see what the fuck is over here." You don't think we had anybody who got the idea to just get up and be like, "You know what? I'm gonna go past this sea and see what's over here." That's ridiculous. Of course, we're all human. Humans are curious. That everybody has a brave person within their ethnic group or whatever who set out one day and was like, I want to see what's beyond this. I want to know what the country is like next to me. I want to go to the next fucking continent. What the fuck is over there?
Midwest, you killed me.
I'm just saying, I don't care. Like, I don't want to yuck on anybody's yum, to use Miss Parker's phrase, but that fucking.
But I'm yucking all over Scat.
Yeah, that shit. Some shit. That's not a yum. That's like if you threw up
Yum
and
for
ate it.
somebody.
Nah.
Hey, look, that ain't
we
none
need
of
to
my
figure out
business.
what's wrong with that person.
Do you know what?
That ain't
No,
none of
because
my-
then I got
ain't none
no.
of my
See,
business.
it is mine because then you go fucking shaking hands.
Well, you're not
touching
supposed to know
doorknobs
about
and
it.
shit.
That's the whole
Exactly.
thing.
You're not supposed to know.
You're not supposed to know about it. He got exposed like that was a breach of privacy.
Wait,
Do you know
what
the
was
only
the
thing I really don't like was that.
Oh, you don't even know
everybody-
Midwest, huh?
Oh, you.
No,
oh,
what are y'all
you-
talking about?
Oh,
No, so-
Yes.
we're talking about
No,
Foodie
so-
Beauty. Her
Yeah, so
husband.
Foodie Beauty's
Salah.
Okay, I
husband.
heard a little bit about it, but I don't know what the
Okay,
actual.
so he
content
basically got catfished by somebody. They let him on and was
No, he
talking
got
dirty
social
to him.
engineered. Is what happened.
He saw out. Yeah, he didn't get catfish. He
He
I'm
didn't get
making
catfished.
it.
He got
I'm-
social engineered.
No. I'm not. I
He's
don't mean
making
the
it
picture sense. I was just
spicier.
saying it like. Yeah, I was just saying
got
it plain
tricked.
so that everybody understands.
Yeah.
He basically got tricked and somebody exposed him. So it was a breach of privacy.
Ooh, those
Yeah.
are rough.
Yeah.
And so and while they were talking, he talked about his fetishes and all
He
that.
wanted to shit and pee pee on her.
I know people keep
Ooh.
talking about that, but the one that gets me because now
He wanted to rape her
all the
Bible.
ladies in girl world are up in arms because they're like, oh my god, he's as bad as Karate Joe, he's as bad as Nader because he likes he has a rape fetish, and so supposedly now he's a rapist, even though it's a fetish,
but it's a
and it's a
fetish.
it's a consent non-consent.
I'm not saying still like still it shouldn't be okay. Look, if two people want to agree to do some dumb shit, let them.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Exactly.
I'm just saying for me,
as
you
long
ain't never finna
as
catch
long as
me in that
he's like
position.
as long as like he's saying it to the other person who he thinks is already consensual. So I'm like, if he was just saying that to random bras,
Yes.
like it'd be a problem.
Yes, unprotected Lex. He wanted to rape her Bible and her cross. Her and her cross.
Wow.
Do you like drill a hole in the cross or
Ouch.
something?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Oh,
Ow.
he's just rubbing his dick between the pages, between
There's paper
Leviticus
cuts on
and-
your
I hope he
weenus.
doesn't get a paper cut.
You get a paper cut,
Listen,
man. This shit is
I think
and the
it's-
Pharaoh's
There are
and the
some
Pharaoh's
people who are
heart
into
hardened.
that.
the
Exactly.
Pharaoh's
I'm a
hardened
part
that
your
Pharaoh's
Red
heart.
Sea.
Yeah.
Here's what I think is even stranger is that the person that did it just
Wait.
did it because they wanted retribution for BBJ going for what?
No,
Like-
that's
Okay,
not
hold
what
on,
they
but hold
wanted.
on though.
That's
not
not,
what they
that's
wanted.
not what it was.
Do you think he would have finished in Revelations?
Probably.
Oh my
Seven
god.
seals after he busted the 7 nuts.
Hi, hoops. No, the
Greetings.
only reason I say
He followed
The only
the
reason I
10
say-
commandments.
the only reason I say that that's not what she wanted was because she did this a few months ago. That
Yeah.
same person a couple months ago came up with an account and I forgot exactly what they were talking. What was
It was
they were only up for 2 days then too,
Oh my god!
and they were trying to
God.
expose
I
something.
Go to
don't.
the
I don't
bathroom.
care.
I want to
don't
talk
care
about
at
the
all.
fetishes. I don't
I
want to
was,
talk
I was
about
just
the
saying
details.
earlier
Yeah.
that I don't care about. I really don't care.
Well, I know
That's
you.
wild.
Well, then you
Wanna
shouldn't
know.
have. You
Yeah,
said
you did kinda help
we're talking
point it out.
about. Yeah,
I
you
explained the gist, and then you guys went on a tangent.
Because it's great. It's
Yeah.
drama.
Oh
First
yeah,
of
that's
all,
right.
what
She
the
was
hell?
fighting with French fry girl.
Not you.
That's what it was. She was fighting with
Uh-huh.
French fry girl.
Hold on, hold
Oh,
on,
I
hold
did
on,
that.
hold
I did that
Hey,
earlier.
Yato.
She didn't have no get back. She had absolutely. I roasted the fuck out of her. She had nothing to say. It was
Yeah, I know.
hilarious.
Fuck you.
All she could say was, "I know you're not talking with how some of the
What are you
women
doing?
look in your entourage." I'm like, "What the fuck is the entourage?"
Oh, your nose. Yato.
It's a group.
Yeah.
Yato. Put up
Yeah.
Taylor Noise's comment about guys.
Noises.
Yeah, can somebody tell me what that means?
Oh, sorry, Taylor Noir. Sorry, I read that wrong.
Can someone tell me what
Noir,
that means?
yeah.
I'm
Which one?
sorry.
The one about the guy that starts
Guys
with
jerk-
God. Okay.
Guys jerk off to God.
That's a standard.
Okay, so there's this thing called
I mean, that's called rub. You get rub burn doing that shit.
Yeah,
So-
that's first off.
Yeah, I don't think any guy I know has. ever
Copes
done
calls it
prior.
wanker scabs. He gets wanker scabs when he.
Oh
my
Ew.
God.
Yeah.
That sounds.
He doesn't
Yeah.
stop though. He just keeps.
He doesn't stop.
Here and I thought I was going to drop down the quality level of the conversation. Thank you, Taco.
No, it was already down the
He
toilet.
was down. It was, we started off low.
Ew.
Yeah, they're called
Gross.
wanker scabs. He's like he always warns his audience not to.
That sounds like
Oh.
a death metal band. Waker Scab.
Oh, so
Yeah.
Lex,
Oh,
I don't think you understood what I was saying. So I don't know if you ever seen a water fountain, and there are some where it looks like a fat person is like got their mouth open.
Where in the fuck?
Yeah,
do you
they're
live?
in Las
I ain't
Vegas.
never seen that.
Yeah, y'all got some
Like
weird
I-
ass shit out there.
I'm
Come on.
never going to Las Vegas.
Like I said, in Las Vegas.
I don't want to see
Yeah.
fat people water fountains.
No, I don't.
They
I
call
mean,
them
I
fatty
also
fountains.
said she looks like
I'm just kidding.
I also said she looked like a melted cherry bomb.
Oh no.
That's fair.
Okay, I'm redneck enough to think that looks like a melted exhaust pipe, but all right.
Hi, Principal Todd.
How is that
Uh,
possible?
A cherry
No,
bomb is a
she's
type
not.
of exhaust pipe or muffler.
Yeah, don't hate on fat
She's-
bitches again.
She's
Aw.
not
bitches
fat.
be
She's like
love.
she's the penguin shape.
Like, yeah, she's big. She's like shaped like
Who's
one of those
penguin shape?
stereotypical Mexican ladies. It's like
French fry girl.
boxy.
She looks like Harvey Oswald.
Oswald Cobblepot.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
There you go. Oswald Cobblepot. There you go. That's the name.
Why you gotta fuck with my favorite animal? I love penguins. Why you gotta fuck that shit
I
up?
thought you time to find a new animal.
I love penguins and pandas.
I
like
think I'm
every
more
Tell me-
like.
racial.
Yo,
The
I love
Kool-Aid.
Tell me
Panda
she doesn't look like
Express.
Tony Soprano. Tell me she doesn't look like
She
Joey Diaz. You know who Joey Diaz is?
Oh Jesus Christ, dude! Really?
So who looks like Joey Diaz?
Wait, who's that
fry
short
girl.
man on
Oh,
Always Sunny?
on, let me-
Who's the short
let me
man?
That's Danny DeVito. That's the
Danny
same
DeVito.
one that
Yeah,
played the
she does
penguin
look
in
like
the.
Danny
in-
DeVito.
Does anybody
The
have a
Danny
picture?
DeVito's is-
I swear she looks like Joey Diaz.
Diaz
Danny
looked
DeVito's
rough,
the same
too.
one that played the Penguin in the
Yeah, he
Batman movie.
did in Batman
No,
Forever or Batman Returns.
Whatever.
did you say
One of the
Joey
Right.
Diaz or
Batman.
Danny DeVito?
I said Danny DeVito. She's shaped like him from Always Sunny.
Yeah, because it's Danny DeVito.
He's the one who played the
I
Penguin.
think she's shaped like an angry avocado.
I like.
I told her that she
avocados.
looks like a bowling ball with chopsticks coming out the two holes.
Out the
Goddamn.
holes.
Wait, so who's in
Man.
your circle that like are so problematic?
What?
Vidal, isn't it? No, she said that you can't be talking with the people in your entourage.
I'm in the entourage,
said-
so I'm pretty problematic. I mean,
She
I
said
talk
how
to
some people
I got-
look. She said how some people look, but I didn't really think about it because, like I said, she looks like a bowling ball with two chopsticks hanging out the
There's
bottom.
not
So
any really ugly people in your entourage, though.
Well, except for
I don't
Yago.
know.
I mean, he looks like Red Fox.
I mean, what does that really matter to me though? Like, you're not talking about me. I hate when people do that. Like, if I'm talking to you and I'm making fun of you, then you should probably make fun of me. Hooves does it all the time. He has no fucking problem.
No, I will
Vidal
talk,
does it
I
all
will
the
talk
goddamn
shit
time.
straight to people's face. I don't do that. Well, you hang out with so and so and they
What
look
did I
like a
do?
potato.
Right.
Fuck that. I'm gonna fuck with you directly. Grow some balls.
Right. If I'm talking to you and I'm talking shit to you, then you should talk shit about me, not people around. I don't give a shit. I don't know why people do that because I've shown it plenty of times. I don't give a shit if you talk about anybody around me. I really don't. That's
No, I talk
on
shit
them.
on Yacht. I talk shit on Yato all day long. He mostly likes.
Marty, I don't know why he's arguing with FFG.
Oh, because she be saying dumb shit and it's been popping up in my stuff. So I've been responding. Oh
He's
no, actually,
instigating.
I said something on Vidal shit, and then she popped in and said hilarious. And I was
Yeah,
like, am I supposed to be
that's funny.
spooked? I'm like, am I supposed to be spooked or something? And then she never responded. So I'm like, I was waiting for a response. So I said something again. And she has no get back.
She got no
Whoa.
get back.
Well,
She
you're
can
not
clap, but
that
she can't
in
punch
a locale, so she doesn't really have much to say about you.
Lex, she does look like a construction worker named Frank. I heard her cat call a couple times.
Aw.
Like, get over here, honey.
Oh my god.
Where you
can't.
going,
Fucking
sweet
A,
cheeks?
Lex.
That
That
goil is
was
stacked like a
uncalled
pita
for.
bill.
That was absolutely uncalled for.
And you know what? She didn't even give me a chance to respond to her. I'm so mad because she replied to you, but she had already blocked me.
You know
Vidal
what? You know what's
Vidal
weird?
gets shit on constantly. I'm always sweet to her, and she always talking shit on me.
People take a
Stop.
cool
That's
ass
because
minute
y'all
to
are
block me for
lovebirds.
some reason. I have no idea why, but I be talking mad shit. And like they leave me for a cool minute. They just ignore me. And then
Did
after
I
a
not
while,
even
like I get
leave?
blocked like later on.
Yeah,
But
Sam and
that nigga
Yaba did not
Tito,
block you
yo,
for a hot minute.
the minute that Tito talked to DC, I had said shit to DC a couple times. The stuff that got me blocked by her was stupid. But the minute that Tito started going back and forth with her, he instantly got blocked. Instantly. It was like one day. It didn't take no time.
DC's fucking weird, man. I mean, look at how I got blocked. I didn't even do shit. I mean, I threw some light shade that, like, I don't think they were intelligent to notice when I said there's really nothing to troll here. Because I was basically saying you're a piece of shit human. Is what can I really do at this point? But I went in and like the next day, she's like screaming all in caps, "Block Hooves, get rid of Hooves, block Hooves." What the fuck did I do? I mean, I talk mad smack on other
She
panels.
probably
but
seen you
whatever.
in our chats or something.
I mean, but that's what I'm saying. It's like she's weird as fuck though, and she acts like she can bring the smoke, but I mean, when it comes down to it, man, she got her smoke detectors all around her just so she can hit that block button.
Oh,
It's funny
so
how she can be everywhere though.
So since we're on the subject, I like to know who's worse, DC or Negs?
Fuck.
DC.
What's the context though? Like
Negs. I'm gonna.
There
have to
is
go
no
with
context.
Is this just overall?
Yeah, overall, who's worse?
I'm going overall. Negs is worse
Negs,
because
yeah.
he is openly Hippocratic with proof of such, and will still act like that proof doesn't exist.
Oh, jeez.
Like let's go on with the Hippocratic shit of he hates druggies, and don't dare be any drug addicts around my kids. Fuck drug addicts and shit. And then he got Zeef working for him, and Zeef is a drug addict. And now all of a sudden, because he dipped, you have a problem with him because he's a drug addict. Yet you had that man in your business for at least 2 or 3 months,
around his
hanging
kids
around your kid. So
and his girlfriend, his
and like we ain't got
sister.
proof of that shit. Like you're gonna act like you're high and mighty now when you've been hanging with this dude and saying that he was the best dude in the world. Y'all been friends for 20 years, and then it came out that you were like trying to go after their underage girlfriends when you were in your 20s, and now you're gonna talk shit on him because it came out that what you are the exact thing that you scream out that everybody else is. I mean, the hypocrisy, we have all the proof. Everybody has seen the proof of your hypocrisy, and yet you will sit there and stand on your high pedestal and act like the shit ain't touching you, that it ain't there because you deleted it. It's still there, my guy. We can see it.
I didn't like the fact that he
Okay,
went on a rant about like black kids doing crimes and stuff. But when white kids did crimes in his neighborhood, he never once talked about their race at all. But whenever it's black people, he's like, look at these black people, look at this black people doing this and that. But as soon as it's white people doing stuff in his town, he's just like, oh yeah, they're just kids doing things.
That's because
But
if
that
you
okay,
white,
so
you're a
so
kid being a kid. If you're black,
so
you're an adult,
Vidal,
even if you're 8.
Vidal,
He did
why do
make
you
that
say
weird
DC?
comment.
I say DC. Okay, because DC is more manipulative. Negs is to a degree, but DC I think is a little better at it. And the only reason I think that is because she did have everyone fooled before for the longest while
I
she was doing her
He
Chantal
was
She
reactions.
fooled
he was
she
always
fooled
weird.
me.
I
No,
have my hand
no,
raised.
no, yeah, she definitely. I had no idea that she
She
was anything like the way that she is now. I had no
And to
idea at
give
all.
you examples is when she was doing streams with you guys, when she had, do you remember when she had Drag, Charlie Gold, um, Michael B. Petty? She had all of Petty Fam and Mothra and all these people on her
Uh,
channel.
I remember that
Mhm.
because one time she asked me if I wanted to come up, but because I had went up on Kelly's stream and my shit
Mhm.
was like late, I was like, nah, I'm not gonna hop up there. So I would have been on there too. Funny enough. But yeah, I remember that because she
Yeah.
had everybody. That
And
was
she
literally
had,
when the crossover happened. But it wasn't only her. That's the weird part because it was Charlie Gold, it was Callie,
yes.
like you said, it was Michael B. Petty. Like it was a whole crossover between our little corners of YouTube.
And
See,
I never liked her. The thing was I could never pinpoint what it was about DC before any of this went down, what it was about DC that I didn't like. There was just something that rubbed me the wrong way about her. I didn't know what it was. But then, she kind of got a lot of like goodwill from people because you guys went on there. There's so many people who went on, that talked to her that,
Hmm.
Yaba included, she had all these people in the community that gave her all this goodwill, which is why she was able to build her channel as much as she did, including the Chantal reactions. But I just, I am amazed that she was able to put on that front for so long.
do you,
Yeah, she was.
here's the reason I put Negs over DC. While I do agree with Fidel that she is very manipulative, um, her desperation to be in that relationship, even though it's failing horribly, and he wants nothing to do with her. She is so desperate to have a family and kids. After a year, you got his kid calling you mom. You girl, you are desperate.
Not even a
Your
year.
your ovaries dried the fuck up, and nobody wants your stank ass, and nobody wants to stick their thingy in your hoo hoo and create another one of you. So you have to desperately cling onto what you think might be a family, and you'll take all the shit for it. That makes you a piece of shit, but not as big a piece of shit as Negs, because he's taking advantage of it and getting as much money out of it as he can. That's why Negs is worse.
I don't think DC's that bad
Dry mom.
because she's just like an old lady that just wants to fit in everywhere, and it doesn't matter what it is. She just says stuff to fit in.
Look how vicious she gets when you attack her, and I'm using air quotes here. Her family. When she
Yeah, she's
came,
just
when she
trying to
came back, and
stay
she's
in the
like,
loop.
she was like an angry mama bear because she is desperate to have a family.
Angry mama bear. She doesn't know what that's like.
No, she doesn't even know what that's
She
like,
is
but
a
she was trying to
she is a
act it
domestic
because
goddess. Okay, Vidal, chill out.
Yes,
she was
canned
trying.
potatoes and duck
Remember
fat.
those
Okay.
stuffed
Like
chicken?
she just
Leave the canned potatoes out of this, please.
she
Every
was.
I
time,
forgot
Vidal, I'm
BGL with her
sick of
canned
this shit.
potatoes.
I'm
Why is
sick of
B?
you and your shit.
Oh shit. Okay. I was like, why is BGTV sound like a chick? I did the whole thing. God damn, man.
What?
It's
You
Black
must not
Girl
have been in
Please,
Thank you
please,
very
Discord.
much.
please, beep.
You must not have been in Discord lately. That's
No,
what
he
it is.
hasn't. He's been playing Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, dude. I've spent the last like 4 or 5 days playing Baldur's Gate with Jello, and I have a problem. Hi, my name is
Jello's still
Who.
alive?
Yeah, because he hanging out with me. Dude, we just had a live stream earlier today because y'all some petty motherfuckers. You guys don't even show up in our chat.
I've popped in there a few times, and you're never there.
Vidal has popped it. Well, the one time you showed up, I was up north. Taco shows up here and there. I ain't never seen. I've damn it, you Yato, man. I've sent you fucking invites to come right into the chat, into the panel.
Yeah,
I
because
didn't
you
even
do
know
them
where
on
to
Friday.
$40,000,
Because you do them on Friday when I'm about to
We
leave
used to
work.
do them on Tuesday. We just
You
moved to
used
Friday
to do
like 3
them
weeks
on
ago.
Tuesday.
Yeah, we just
And then
moved to
even then
Friday.
when you did them on Tuesday, it was while I was at work.
I can't help it that you got to wait till everybody's at work to steal their catalytic converters. That's not my problem. Schedule it better.
You know, this is an everyday thing. Like I still lawns in the morning, and then later on the evening, that's when I hit the catalytic converters.
Yeah, man. Do you know how expensive my catalytic converters are? Can you stop?
I know. Yeah, I know how much they are. What are you talking about? Why do you think I take them? what is that even a question? Do you know how much they cost? Duh. Why do you? What would be the point of taking something that's worthless?
Man, dude, that's just hurtful. Sometimes your words hurt. You have to understand that. Unprotected Lex, I do not have a channel yet. I was going to start streaming, but shit kept popping off, and like stuff I was like creating subject matter on changed like immediately, like over and over again. I was like,
Yeah,
on a
it's
news channel.
the rest
thinking about
the
just
rest
doing
of
a news
you
channel thing.
the
But
rest
like
of
I
you
told
don't
you
really
to.
know about it because like me and Who's somehow are high school friends, even though he's a lot older than me. So
Man,
You're a
fuck you.
lot older than people
Yeah, but you
realize.
look older, dude. You got that hairline. I told you, man.
Don't talk about
the
his
gray.
hairline.
It's
He-
the gray.
I already told you I'm going
He
to be
got that
Race
red
Bannon.
fox look. He got that red fox looking all day.
No, you keep saying Red Fox, but I'm going to be Race Bannon.
Hannibal's
one,
lawn
Elizabeth.
service. DC just wants to belong somewhere. I think that's the only thing she gets out of being with Nick.
Wait,
Wait a minute.
what do you mean
What do
she's?
you
What
do?
do you
You
mean
think she actually
she's downgraded? Downgraded from what? Wasn't she like with some Pakistani dude who didn't even like her? Didn't he like
I
leave
mean,
her?
Well, she said she
anybody
had.
who gets with Negs is downgrading. I'm sorry.
She called this nigga himself. That is the most disrespectful name that my girl could ever call me in my life.
I mean, but you
Himself.
have to remember.
Just
You have
what?
to remember that. You have to remember that DC is old. Like she speaks from a different generation.
No.
Yes,
You call
yes,
me
yes.
Well,
himself.
she
The
swears up
words
and down
she
she's Gen
uses,
X.
I'm
the
throwing
words
hands.
she uses are
Himself.
like she speaks like she, like literally she speaks.
Dude, she talks like my mom, and my mom's 75.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. She
yes.
speaks like a boomer, but she swears she's Gen X.
Is
She
she
I
Gen
ain't
X?
never I ain't never heard her
we
call
both are out.
anybody. I never heard her call somebody and say hook me up on the message. So I don't know if she a boomer.
Well, but she uses boomer words. She called GP a jive turkey. That's shit that my dad says.
You're a jive turkey. Can you?
She called him a
I-
jive turkey.
I literally said in chat
I
she
think
might as
she
well
did
just call
that.
him the N-word.
Dude, when she talks, I'm not even
Yeah,
joking. My mom is
that's what I'm
75.
thinking. Like
When she talks, I literally when I watch her streams, I have to turn off the stream and call my mama because I'm like, you know what, I miss talking to my mom. Because
I
Back
think
when
when she
her
I
called him
vectors
a
are
jive
identical to
turkey,
my
I
mom's.
think that was a little bit.
What the hell just
I think
happened?
she knows, goddamn
Were you
nigga, you fell
sleeping?
asleep again.
No, not at all. I ain't been asleep. I've been
We
listening
just
to you
woke up. Hey,
motherfuckers
we
talk the
still
whole time.
we woke
How did
up.
I get
We
in
still
the
streaming.
No,
Even
no,
How did I
close.
get
no.
in
When
this
she
live stream?
We still
when
here.
she called him a jive turkey, I thought like I'm like that was on purpose. I ain't never seen or heard her call anybody a jive turkey. The only
No.
person she said it to was GP. That's the only person, and I think it was intentional. I don't know
And
what she
it's
meant by it, but it was very intentional.
now
Well, it's 70s slang.
I never heard the jive turkey thing,
Nigga, I
but her
know that.
mannerisms,
But she never
but
said it
her
to nobody.
but her man I'm not talking about that. I'm saying her
When has
mannerisms,
she
how
had?
she speaks, and some of
Mm-hmm.
the words that she uses as adjectives are very much boomer.
Well,
Like
Red
it's
all
not.
people.
Well,
circus.
I will say this. I'm okay. This isn't me taking up for DC, but she is also an English literature major. Okay,
Dude,
so
she
that kind of
can't be with some of
accounts.
the shit she says though.
But
Some of
But
the
if
No,
she
shit
no,
comes
no.
to
What?
us,
way to
we
fuck
come
off.
up
Well,
with
no,
I
no. I mean,
do
that
not
accounts for some
appreciate.
of the that accounts for some of the words that she uses. Like I can hear it
No,
only because like I
I
recognize
do not
them.
appreciate you bringing up when I went to Brown.
Man,
But
Have
I think
no
she just
room
showed up to go to
to
the
even
cafeteria.
talk because you have no degree and you're bedbound
And
and you're
didn't
from
she
and your
India.
bed down.
didn't she admit to banging some slimy ass politicians for her job
And
No,
Yeah.
not
Rockstar.
for her job.
She's got
During
a
her
belly
job.
full of rock.
during her
Yeah.
job? Well,
well,
for
yeah,
her job. I meant
race
for her job, like
rock
she's
stars and
doing a job.
politicians. She always says, yeah.
I
Rock stars
doubt
and
any rock stars
politicians.
would do it unless they were super doped up.
She probably had some low level, quote unquote rock stars, maybe band members or
Were
something.
they like next
The
level rock
grips.
stars or
The
we
Yeah,
talking
grips
about
next
and the casters.
Come on now. DC's like a Walmart 3. I mean, who in the hell is she gonna bang
A
except for like
Hey,
Walmart
Ted
look,
Kennedy?
3.
there's some
She might hit up a Ted Kennedy with the tumor, but I mean, come on.
Well, I would say when she was younger, she wasn't that bad. 'Cause she wasn't that bad looking. She's an
yeah,
older
she
woman
was
now.
She looked like Howard Stern with short hair.
No,
No, she didn't have short hair.
dude, I keep saying it
She
over
had
and
long
over,
hair.
and nobody will take this with me. She's Vector from
Howard
fucking.
Stern's hair was longer.
She's Vector from Despicable Me all day long.
that could be her
Now, yes,
personality
now.
though.
No, that's her personality and her look. I mean, the other day,
No.
although her look turned into the old guy from the movie Up, but I mean, Jesus Christ. But I do like that she
All right,
tries
so
to keep it new school by wearing a bucket hat and look like LL geriatric. I mean, Jesus
so
Christ.
so
LL
speaking of the way
geriatric Dre.
that DC looks and how old she is, how do you guys feel
LLO.
about when how do you guys feel about when certain
I can see
creators,
some shit.
quote unquote,
I could rip some lyrics that'll get this place banned right now.
how do you feel about creators, quote unquote, going too far? Do you think that there's a limit there? Do you think that there are certain things that we shouldn't say or lines that we shouldn't cross? Well, I
um,
mean, and I'm talking about just verbally.
verbally, no. If it's out there, if you put it
Oh.
out there, and we're commenting on the shit that you put out, that's your fault, not mine.
Oh, Yado, Hannibal meant that she downgraded her lifestyle, like she's now in like a shithole.
Oh.
I
Like
mean,
there's
pretty
piss
much.
everywhere and whatnot.
I mean, but
I don't
is it
know.
a
She seemed to be
downgrade
like
because she
she was in a
talked about
rush
how
to
she
get out of
wanted
there.
to go to Indiana and she wanted to be like in middle
Yeah.
America.
Her
So
home was put
She
together
wanted
though.
she
But
wanted to go
she was in a fucking hurry to get out of
rough it with
DC.
the
I mean,
cord.
she took three carloads in her Hyundai to get there. I mean, it ain't like she had much shit to begin with if that's all she took out of there.
Yeah, but your shit is not what determines whether it's a downgrade or not.
Yeah, like she went from an actual clean place to Negs.
No, it wasn't clean.
No, it wasn't clean.
I wouldn't
Well,
say
it
it's
was
clean. Her
it was
dog's already
cleaner
pissed
than
on the floor.
Negs's place. It was cleaner than
No,
Negs's
it
place.
okay,
wasn't.
look,
Oh,
I would never in my life
that's the
believe
thing
that
we found
because
out.
look, because and if a bra likes you and you go over to her house or if she comes to live with you or even if when she visits, she's gonna clean your house. she's gonna be like, I don't like it here. This isn't comfortable for me. If a woman is usually clean, and I don't even think that's like only for
That's
women.
man
I
or
think that's
woman.
for guys too.
Man or
Yeah,
woman.
I think
Yeah.
that's for guys too.
If
If
you're a clean dude,
somebody doesn't feel like it's clean, they'll come over to your house and they'll clean that shit up just so they can be comfortable. If I go to somebody's house and I'm not comfortable in it, and it's just because it's dirty, I'm probably gonna clean it up.
or leave and not come back.
Right, one or
I've
the
done
other.
that a few times. I've gone. Now I am not a clean freak. I mean, I'm pretty much a slob, but about once a week I lose my shit and I just clean my entire house. Um, but if I go over to a chick's house, like we meet and talk and date and whatever, and it's like she looks like she should be on hoarders or some shit. No, I'm dipping it and I ain't even calling you back.
Oh, so
I'm
once
out.
again,
Well, I think
I
between
haven't
her and
put I
Meg,
haven't
they
put the
have in
link in
common.
chat in a
But
minute. If you
I'll
guys have any contact with any of the little bullshit people that are around in this space, they are completely welcome to pop up on here too. That's the bodega, the attic,
Oh
fucking
Okay,
man.
AK, come up here. Come,
Controla,
AK, come up.
Alexandra Myers,
Oh
any of
my
them folks
god.
are
Oh, AK,
absolutely
come,
welcome
come
to
talk
pop
to
on.
me.
Of course you want your girlfriend to come up here, Who's?
AK, come talk to me, my cute little Scotland cow. Come here.
Scotland.
The Scottish Highland.
Scotland.
Yeah, the Scottish Highland.
Scotland.
Have you not seen a Scottish
Is it
Highland cow?
because their
Look it up.
cow's hairy?
They're super fluffy. I could braid her back hair all day.
Ew. I just want to
So
elaborate on what Hannibal was.
on the note of fetishes.
No. Before you jump into that, I just wanted to point this out about about DC. You got to remember, she's also at a different stage in her life. Up until just not too long after she met Meg, she still had a job. Okay, she no longer works. She is
Mm-hmm.
now retired. So she's doing that transition that most older people tend to do, where they have to downgrade their life in order to no longer have to work. So I think that's, DC is a lot more expensive than Indiana. I can tell you that. So yeah, she's saving a lot more money by giving up the whole DC thing and moving in, moving to
Slightly off
Indiana.
topic. Does anybody think that AK puts her nipple hair into ponytails like their little tassels and whips them around?
I'm not getting canceled for you.
That imagery you just put in my
Wait,
head.
okay.
Nasty
Wait, does she? It only
Look,
if she does
here's
it while playing Willow Smith's "Whip My Hair Back and Forth."
Shit, yeah.
oh my look, and the whole time while she's playing, I whip my hair back and forth. She whips them around in a circular motion at the same time.
Look, AK, I don't mind that you're hairy and that your boobs is a B
Oh,
cup and a D cup. That's fine. I like Picasso too.
1B, 1B.
Just come on up. We'll talk.
good
So
grief.
back
I
to
have
what
a
I was
job.
saying
I have a
before.
job, and Tragedy
I've
don't.
never seen Mishmax boobs.
So
So
I'm
back
not,
with that.
I have. Most of them are.
So back to what I was asking before.
Well, not that
What
different.
what are the lines that you think that people can cross on here? Of course, aside from doxing, but I mean, like, if you're going like in a back and forth and you're talking shit or whatever, do you think that
Kids.
there's any lines that you shouldn't cross?
Don't bring the kids in it unless they do.
Family.
Don't bring the kids into it. Don't bring anybody who ain't in your shit. Like like Yato. Yato's brother don't stream. I'm not going to talk shit about Yato's brother. Why? Well, I mean, I'll say that Yato obviously didn't get the looks out of the gene pool, but but I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna start trashing on Yato's brother, or if Yato has kids, he don't know about. But I'm not gonna bring his kids into it or his baby mamas or none of that shit because that's not who my beef is. It's my
Well,
beef
could
is
I
with Yato.
ask?
I'm gonna go after Yato.
Because Yato actually did have his brother on stream once. Does that open Does
All
that
right.
open him up?
I was
Ooh, that's
there
a good.
for that.
That's a good question.
Are you
That's a
heading
good
out?
question.
I was there for that because we could tell that
Wait, hold on. Somebody said
Yato's
no.
mama ran out of toner for Yato. Gave it all to his brother. That's why Yato all ashy looking. What?
No. So
Are
that's
you
a good
heading out
question.
Midwest?
Yeah, I was about to say I'm about to get out of here. I've been cooking since I've been up since 4:00.
Oh, I thought you were sleeping.
All right, Negro.
No, hell no. Look, as Taco, I've been up this whole time.
Yeah.
See?
All right, I'm
Yeah.
gonna hit you up tomorrow.
All right, bro.
Take it
I'll
easy,
see y'all later. Y'all
Midwest.
have a good one.
Good
Yep,
night.
yep,
All right.
yep.
Bye.
See you.
So that's actually a great question. So now that like my brother was on stream with me for my birthday stream, does that open him up to the back and forth or the drama that goes on within my streams?
Not really. I mean, I've seen what I've seen the shit that uh, Trashy and Harry K were going for, trying to say that he was like your lover, your boyfriend, or whatever. I mean, that's weak. It's weak ass shit. But does it put him in the line? Not really, because he's not a content creator. He's not active. That was the one and only time we seen him.
And all we
I feel
were
like
doing, the only reason why he even came on stream is because he was just behind me drinking with me,
Mm-hmm.
and we were like talking shit to each other and stuff. So I'm like, you might as well just pop on stream with me and talk shit on here, because I mean we were staying together, so that's who I'm talking shit with. That's who I'm drinking with for
Right.
my
I
birthday, of
feel
course.
like
I'm about to sit here and
don't
drink with just y'all.
don't cross lines you don't want crossed on to yourself, basically. So if they talk about your brother, they shouldn't cry if you talk about their brother.
Right.
If they
Yeah.
start doxing people, they shouldn't cry when people start doxing them.
Mhm.
I
If you
mean,
don't
you're
want
gonna
to be
start.
doxed, leave people alone and just talk shit about what the content they're doing or something.
And yeah, I mean, like when you talk about looks, don't be afraid to get picked on. I don't give a shit.
Well, I have a
You can
question.
call me
Exactly.
ugly all day long.
What's
I
up,
don't care.
Vidal?
Trash.
So,
Take off the fucking filter. We all know something fucked up with your chin. Just take the filter off.
but I do want to ask, at what point is it you putting yourself out there? So I'm just going to give you an example here.
Mhm.
So when Yaba took her break, right?
Yeah.
And people didn't know what was going on with her, like, oh my God, what happened to Yaba? What happened to Yaba, right? And
Mhm.
then she told everyone on Twitter that, oh, it's because my children's dad died, right?
Yeah,
So of course, what does that do? That allows DC and Negs and all of them to just, oh, let's go find out about her kid's father. And of course, what do? They pull up the obituary, a whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
Well,
That whole situation could have been prevented had she not said anything, right?
or
And
she
she
could have just
knows.
had death in the family and just been done with that. But she went that
I
extra
still feel
mile.
like they would have still looked hard for it. It just would have took longer.
But had
Or
she not
just an
said anything
issue.
at all and just said, I just needed a break.
Or I had a
It didn't
family
have.
issue. That's it.
Well,
I
you
had
don't
a
even
family
have to go into that.
And
I just
you
needed a
don't
break.
have to tell your online audience anything about what's going
Yeah.
on. Like, I don't tell none of y'all about all the shit going on in my life.
No, y'all barely know anything. They might know. I
No,
mean,
you don't know how
people
to
that follow
search.
me know what. Yeah, fuck off. So yeah, a lot of people know that I'm, what state I'm from because I mentioned it on Widows. But you're not going to know what city I'm from. You're not going to know what my family's names are. You're not going to know, where I went to high school. You're not going to know any of that shit because I ain't telling you all.
Like pretty
telling
much
y'all
at the
shit.
end of the day,
I graduated with Yato.
I
David.
I pretty much whatever I choose to share, like when I've had certain folks die or whatever, I didn't talk about it until way later. That's what I do in my real life, so it's not really that uncommon to me. Like for the
My
most
bit,
part, when stuff happens to me, I don't really talk to people about it at the time. I usually just keep it to myself, even with my parents or whatever. And then I talk about it later, way later. And I've done that somewhat on here, but for the most part, um, I think it's a little
Good night,
different for me too
DGL.
because something like a death or
Bye.
whatever,
bye.
I don't really like I don't really like people to pity me. So I don't
Hmm.
like the whole, oh, I'm sorry for your loss, and oh, you can always come and talk to me. I don't like none of that. And I don't like doing that for other people either. So
I hate.
so
I hate this.
I don't
I hate
want what I
sympathy.
don't give, basically.
I hate sympathy. Please, that's why you will never know when something bad happens in my life because I will not tell anybody.
I love it.
I've been living where I'm at for right now for about 2.5 years now. One person, not even my family that lives like an hour or so away. One person knows where I live because I'm private like that. I don't want people coming and knocking on my door. Hey man, I was just in the neighborhood. No, get the fuck out. One person knows where I work, where I live. like has been physically to my house because I'm private. Most of the shit I tell you, some of it may be fabricated because I'm trying to fuck with people, but you're still not going to know who I am. If I'm talking to you in the background, like Yato, I probably told him a couple of things that are from my personal life. I know Taco knows a lot about me.
Mm-hmm.
A couple other people know a lot about
He
me
has a
because
mole on his armpit.
it wasn't a mole; it was a bruise.
Whatever. You can get it taken
I,
off, like
I fell down the
Kaya got her
stairs.
Why do we
mole
always get
removed.
into these discussions about people talking about, oh, I'm so private that I do this. I'm so private that I do that. It's just
It's
so,
because
so
what it
silly to
boils
me.
down to is people sharing too much shit.
Yeah, people.
If you're gonna put yourself in the spotlight,
Because for people who don't know, because I think it goes over a lot of people's heads around in this corner of YouTube that back in the corner that I was in, in the Shantyverse, this wasn't a problem. But as soon as I moved over somewhat girl world adjacent, they constantly call everybody a lost cow. And I'm like, that's not what a lost cow is.
no,
One of the defining factors off top is sharing too much information. Always,
Oh my god,
any cow that you come across, they share too much
that
information.
shit bothers me. They're really like, "Oh my god, don't talk about my life." But I'm like, you just told me that you wipe in this direction, and I didn't need to know that. And when people comment on it, now you're upset that people are commenting on which way you wipe. Like, don't share it with everybody.
it's like a Dunning Kruger. I mean, they all have traits, and I hate one of my pet peeves is when I hear somebody
Johnny
talk about
Kruger, G-Man. Uh-oh,
what
uh-oh,
what I
uh-oh.
don't like is hearing, well, this guy's just like this guy. No, he's not. They may have similar traits, but it's not him. That's what makes them unique. I've heard people try to compare certain lolcows to like Cyrax. No, that's not like Cyrax. Cyrax is a completely different animal.
Cyrex is a
They-
horror car.
Well,
right.
I
And people
think
have said, oh, this person's like Shanny. No, they're not. They're
No,
their own
I think
person. Shanny's completely different.
Shanny's not.
Yato, I think what you're noticing is just the difference in the actual audience that watches certain
Mm-hmm.
people, because the audience that watches Shanny is vastly different than Girl World. Girl
Yes.
World
Yeah,
really is predominantly a lot of older women.
yeah, they're just all
Yes,
Facebook
yes, it is.
moms.
Not
Yeah.
only that, but here's the other thing that I noticed too. So this is something actually that Miss Parker had pointed out, and she actually had a really good point. She was saying how certain factions of the internet all boil down to certain avenues. And the avenue that we come from in the Shaniverse is actually the atheist community. That's actually how I wiggled my way into, the whole Shaniverse. And if you look at most of the people in Petty Fam, we're all black atheists for the most part, except for Nova. And
um,
so
Nova's trying to get into
basically,
heaven.
mayoral.
so, so basically, that's like the little corner of YouTube that we come from. A lot of us, if you ask BGTV, he'll tell you that he was watching G-Man and stuff years ago because he's a black Christian. He'll when Ms. Parker was watching is for the same reason. When I was watching is for the same reason. I found Drag because he was a co-host on the Atheist Experience, a show that I watched all the time. And I was like, oh, it's another black atheist. We're like unicorns up in this bitch. So that's a little corner of YouTube that we come from is atheists, basically. Like the people
I
debating religious people. And then when you move over into girl world, it's nothing about that. Nothing
so
at all.
different over
Because
there.
even though Shani is considered a death fat the same way that Chantel is a mukbanger that like is from Canada and does other weird shit. But Shani is all about the Christianity. And she deals with Christians, and she was a part of a whole thing where they were debating Christianity versus atheism. So it's like a whole
Do we
different
really
ballpark.
call Chantal a mukbanger? Because I feel like that
She
mukbang.
started off as a beauty guru and a weight
Yeah,
loss channel.
She started. Yeah, that's exactly because that's when I watched her. That's when I
Well,
found
that's
out.
what she's known. That's what she's known for. I've only
But
known her
she,
for
yeah,
mukbangs, to
because
be
that was
honest.
when she started to gain notoriety. Because with the mukbanging
Hmm.
is what brought more views for her, even though she had been around for a bit before that. And but she even that she didn't
Your
stick to.
microwave is done.
Yeah, I was gonna say somebody's microwave done.
Yeah, because like how I've got into all of this was I was looking for weight loss inspiration, found Amber and Chantal through reaction channel saying these women fail at weight loss, and I was like, oh, I like drama. Let's get into this. And then Shani intermingled with Chantal, and that's how I found the rest of y'all because Shani bridged that gap.
You
Do you
guys
know
don't
how
want to know how I got here.
I only
It's
know
weird.
about
No, I
Shani
don't.
because of fucking what's her name? Callie. That's the only reason.
Didn't you Hooves didn't you come here from Burnt Toast?
Okay, so that's how I ended up with you and started picking
Oh.
on you. And I
Oh my.
once I started messing with you and you were cracking the fuck up and I was enjoying our back and forth. That's what made me stick with you because I liked our interaction. I found you very cool, even though I was fucking with you at hot, from the gate.
Yeah.
No, I actually started off in the flat earther community.
What?
I was not a flat earther.
How the fuck did you get all the way over?
Oh, you weren't a flat earther. That's
No,
hilarious.
I was watching Schrodinger's cat. The
Oh,
guy
so
who
you were
Oh!
part of the skeptics.
I was part of the you're a
I
retard
think we
because
were
you
in
know
the
part
same
of,
community
I,
at one point. I was in Schrodinger's cat community too.
yes, I was with him and I followed him right up until the day he was supposed to do a show and died.
Oh yeah, he passed away, unfortunately.
Yeah. So I went from there and he started covering First Amendment auditors. That swung me over to
That's
Masshole
another
Report.
faction.
That swung me over to
Mhm.
Masshole Report. Masshole Report swung me over to Cyrax because of my algorithm. They were started popping up, so I started watching the Cyrax. And then the crossover came with just because of my algorithm. One day, Burnt Toast showed up, and she was doing a thing on Bullhorn Betty. I had met Bullhorn Betty in person years
What?
ago. Yeah,
she
back with the laundry case. I used to live just south of them, and I drove up there to see what the hell was going on because I was like, I'm a half hour away when I lived in Florida, so I drove up to check it out. And this I'm gonna get rude here. This fat blonde, this fat blonde bitch, they started yelling at me to get my big diesel truck the fuck out the way with her bullhorn. And I'm like, what the fuck's the matter with you, ho? And this is before I got into all that shit. And then I got into Burnt Toast, and then I found BGTV, the whole Shanty for Christ, all that shit, and I started binge watching all that shit, and I take in all the information I watched. So I watched all the earlier shit with Drag, and Drag's how your name popped up between Drag and Toast. Yato and BGTV's names got brought up, and that's what dipped me in. And I started fucking with you and BG. I told you, mine's I'm all over the goddamn place. When I say I surf the communities, I've been all over the fucking place.
I'm still amazed that we could have ran across each other earlier. I just didn't pay attention to you.
Oh, because I'm
my communities don't intermingle like that very much.
I didn't start interacting with anything until 2022 is when I started actually
when Vidal popped up, she instantly got pressed. That's the funny part. The minute that she popped up, she got pressed.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I came from fucked up communities.
We don't do that here.
Briefly in the Martin Shkreli stuff, and then the Broke Malone and the incel community, which is an offshoot from Hiding in My Room. I've been in a whole bunch of other communities, and there's some fucked up ones.
The incels, that's part of the okay, so back when Cyrax Aware of Myself was over at the Cyrax house. As soon as I saw who it was, I'm like, that's a First Amendment auditor. This is going to get fucked up real quick because he will not go to court. I knew that shit. I knew he wasn't going to go to court because all those amendment auditors are all talk and no action.
I like when they scream when they actually get pressed by people. It's funny.
Mm-hmm. They get hella pissed.
They're like, I'm
my favorite
traveling.
thing,
I'm not driving.
my favorite thing is when they're in the car and then their whole window
sovereign
gets
citizens.
busted out, and then they start screaming and they're like, "I have a right to travel.
That's the sob sits.
And then they start pulling them out the car. I have a right to travel.
If you want to see a bunch of dumbass people, check out sovereign citizens, and the ones that are even dumber than them are the Moorish citizens.
Oh yeah, those people are another breed.
Okay.
So
yeah. No. Me and Tito actually did a stream a while ago. I think so. I think it might have been on my channel, and we went over when a lawyer went. That nigga was upset. This nigga was a lawyer talking to 3 more sovereign citizens, and he went over every little fact that they had, and he completely demolished them for like 3 hours. It was great. It's the funniest shit ever.
The best part was the best part is if they give you a quick idiocracy of how these people's brain work. They believe they're Moorish because George Washington sent a letter oh my God, over to Morocco because this is the part they leave out. We sent ships over to Morocco to help with the Barbary pirates over there at the time. And we set up an outpost
we did.
for those ships. And they think that letter means that we set up America as an outpost on their land. That's how they.
That's not why. That's not exactly why. No, it's not letters. What it was is that our first America's first peace treaty is with the Moroccans, and because of that, so they because there were pirates and stuff around over there. So they signed a treaty with them and they started to trade with them. Because of that, they think that they're Moroccans and it's a treaty that they had to do with the natives of America.
And because I'm white, I need to be. That's one of the things is because I'm white, I am not I'm not American, or I don't belong on this land, and I can be deported. And I would love to know where to.
To Canada.
I'm not Canadian.
But that's what I mean. If we were
when you spill beer on my shoes.
Look, if we were gonna send white people anywhere, like I would be nice and send y'all to like Canada at least. Like it's pretty much the same, but it's not the same. They're a little bit nicer. Like I send y'all up there.
I want to go to the Swiss Alps because their hot chocolate is banging. I love Swiss Miss.
You talking about the women?
You know what? That wouldn't be a bad idea either. Because when you really think about it, most people, period. Like if you just offered them like, hey, I'm gonna just send you like to a different country and you're gonna be accepted there, and like we're gonna float you for a little bit, I'd be like,
okay.
I do want to say,
yeah, for real. Oh, all right,
gorgeous.
I would love
absolutely breathtaking.
I wouldn't mind. I mean, if you want to send me to Norway, I mean, shit, you want to send me back to my ancestry, send me back to Norway. The fjords are beautiful.
I don't think you've ever seen a mountain range until you have seen the Alps.
Oh, I've seen the Rockies and I've seen.
It is not like the Rockies.
No, I was going to say I've seen the Rockies and I was impressed. It's just like
all right. So funny enough,
breathtaking.
I remember there was an interview where Akon, I think he was on DJ Vlad, and he's on Vlad TV, Culture Vulture, whatever. But I remember Akon was saying, how come niggas don't go back to Africa? And he didn't mean it like, because, like in the racist sense, like, go back to Africa. And he was like, how come niggas don't really come to Africa? He's like, the type of stuff that you do in America, like, not only could you be making money doing the same thing over there, but you could also like bring a whole different type of value, especially because you're an American and you're famous or whatever here. He was like, man, if a bunch of people like went to Africa and only put their services like in Africa, and that's the only place you can benefit like any type of way from them, basically benefit whatever region that they're in.
I would love to go to Africa because I hear they bless the rains down there.
They what?
They bless the rains.
What is that supposed to mean?
Right.
It's a song.
feel like that's
it's
a
Africa
poem.
by Toto.
Can we?
Oh God.
I was wondering when you guys would catch it, but
Taco already knew what was up.
I wanted to ban you for it. That's
Well, I mean, I wasn't thinking about the words to the song. Good Lord.
Yeah. Does anybody know the words to Africa?
I mean, I know some
I
of the
do.
words, but I know that's.
I don't.
Yeah,
I
didn't
did not
know.
know.
I
the
don't
words.
have a singing
I-
voice, so I'm not even gonna try.
I jammed that shit in my Kia Forte at max.
Is that what you're playing in the background?
You have
There's
like
the
some
fact-
Kia?
The fact that you said Kia Forte.
Right. First of all, Kia.
I don't drive a Prius, thank you.
Kias are
No,
grody.
the funniest part is that like Kia Forte is like compact. So if he's playing music loud, that shit is bumping.
Mhm. And don't forget, I'm also 6'1" and 225 pounds. I'm a big guy.
See, we need to get you to bump some Ratchet Girl music. I
What,
would
like
love to see
Taylor
someone.
Swift?
Nigga.
Whoa, no racism.
The only
What?
issue- What? No racism.
Are you
there.
taking my black card too? I've already had that rebuked. when
Are
I
you
was a
saying
teenager.
Taylor Swift isn't hood enough?
No, just because she made that one rap song with T-Pain, we're not talking.
Oh, I was talking about Shake
Oh,
It
God.
Off.
We talking about Taylor Swift singing September?
Ew, no, stop.
No, you fucked up.
No, please don't play that.
No,
I could
you
play some
fucked
Tom
up.
Jones.
Oh, if you want to talk, Yato, I have a question for you.
Why am I here?
No, you can weigh in
What?
because I think this is an interesting one because you opened up something because it's something that me and a good friend of mine discuss a lot.
Stop, please. For the love of God, for the love of Hades, for the love of whoever. Keep talking over it, please.
No, I'm jamming. I'm twerking over here.
You do have a.
Oh, we can
butt.
tell.
My cheeks go clap, clap, clap. Okay, so what's the question, Vidal?
I was waiting for you.
I literally physically turned inside out.
So the question I have, because you brought up a couple points, it's something that me and a really good friend of mine discuss a lot. And I told you know how I've been into the whole like listening to like the old debates and stuff from the civil rights movement. Couple things.
That's a lie.
What?
What the fuck was that?
Am I just gonna keep getting interrupted or what? Like, what's the deal?
Keep going.
Go ahead, skinny white chick. Speak
Let's
your
keep
piece.
going.
She's not skinny. She's bed bound.
I can't
Right.
think when there's stuff
Go
going
ahead,
on.
Karen.
It's hard for me to think.
She
She,
got
Like,
she hasn't had her
autism.
she hasn't had her Starbucks yet.
You know, it's like it's that joke that Cedric the Entertainer said. You know, when you're backing up your car, you got to turn the music down. Like I can't do it with music.
All right.
I just can't.
Oh, okay, nigga. Damn. God damn.
I wasn't saying with them. Oh my God, no, you didn't. I'm gonna leave now. Okay, bye. Take me off of here. God damn.
Go ahead.
So.
Okay,
we-
why is the white
Go
dude
ahead.
back in
Go
the bus?
ahead.
So you were talking about going back to Africa, and here's my thing. Why I don't think I could go back to Africa or go to Africa because there is nothing in what there's nothing in my experience That's African. Do you know what I mean? I share no language, none of the customs, none. I don't eat any of the food. Not to say that the food isn't available or anything like that. That I don't eat it, but I don't know anything about cooking the way they would cook in, in Nigeria or wherever, right? I don't have any of these experiences. So to go to Africa would it not be a cultural shock for the average African American?
I heard that some Africans actually don't like us.
Well, I know that they don't because I've heard this
I
directly
don't know
from
about the
them.
average because anytime I've been to like a different country or whatever, like it's never been a shock to me. But at the same time, most Americans aren't really that good at geography. So
I don't know how to
Geography's
get to
got
my
nothing to
next
do
town.
with what I'm asking.
Okay,
no,
so
no, no, no,
if
no, no, no. What I'm saying is that like I read up on other places. Like I somewhat know what it's like, and then when I see it, like I've never been like too shocked or anything. But I'm saying that most people don't really think about like in America, period, don't really think about other countries or what things look like. Like they don't really have a like you're saying, like they don't really have a scope of what it feels like or what it looks like to be in a whole different country with a whole different history and everything. And so
Yeah,
yeah, maybe
exactly. We're
they
coming
might
from a
get culture shock. I don't know how many like how many people wouldn't, I
well,
guess per se.
here's my look at it. Speaking as a white cisgendered male, if
Ew.
I was to be told to go back to my country, one, I have a couple choices. Two, I can't speak the language in any of those three countries. I only eat the food out of two of those countries, um, out of taste. And three, we do not have the same rights over there. So I'd probably get my ass beat a lot. So there's a lot of things that people don't factor in. That's why I don't think I've ever said go back to your own country. This is a white male speaking. I've never said that kind of stuff because I actually do take into account that, like the Africa thing, they're depending on which province or country inside of the continent of Africa you go, you could be really restricted on what you can and cannot do. As it
Mm-hmm.
on women rights, male rights, single, parent, child. There's a lot of laws that we don't have that they do. And so, as far as culture shock, that's why I don't think I could I could not live in like Norway. I don't know their language. I could not live in Scotland. One, that accent is fucky and it's really hard to understand if I don't start speaking it. I'm going to get my ass beat for um, I don't like Scottish food. It's basically throw it all in a pot until it's boiled the same. And fuck haggis. Germany, I don't speak German. Do like some of their food. I'm scared of sausages. Yes, that's right. I fear the worst. And I do like,
Uh,
He's super
that was a
he's super
horrible
straight.
joke.
I gotta
Please.
throw that in there. And I
I
don't
wasn't
speak
even listening. I
Italian.
missed it.
And
That
all of
joke
the
hurt me.
countries I just spoke of do not have freedom of speech. So, like me talking to mad smack that I do, I can get in a lot of trouble. None of the countries that I mentioned that I am from, my
Yeah, we need to get you
heritage is
there.
from,
So you
is
can stop.
all you're all mouth blocked. You do not have the freedom of speech. You can speak some things, but only if it's under the government uh, allowing what's allowed by the government. So yes, there's a lot of issues with the whole go back to your country. That's why I don't like it because unlike the ignorant redneck ass bastards that say that kind of shit, I actually know what other countries kind of look like and what their governments are basically like. I mean, I'm not saying they're North Korea, but you ain't got the same shit you do here. This is a country in and of itself.
Well, on that note,
Sorry, I
I'm
got
gonna
all
go.
serious. I apologize.
Yeah, I wanted to say something, but you kept talking about sausages and shit.
I know he
Well,
did
go.
point on the food for a long time.
All right, go ahead, Taco.
So I wanted to expand on what Vidal was saying earlier. It kind of reminded me of being in art school where my teacher would be like, "Oh, why don't you draw stuff based off of your culture or like who you are?" And I'm like, I don't fucking know my culture. I'm not like my Asian uh classmate where she actually knows her tribe, her whatever. I don't know any of that shit. So if I went to Africa, I'd be fucking lost. I wouldn't know who or where to go to. I'd just be basically a foreigner going to Africa. It wouldn't be like me going home.
Yeah.
Taylor Noir makes a very valid point.
In Japanese schools, the children do the daily maintenance as a group, promoting community and uniformity. They have a community-focused society. America is gonna get mine.
Yeah. No, I was expanding on what Telo Noir originally said. She said you're talking where is it? Um
She's
Americans have
just
a
talking
very
about the
self-centered
America's
viewpoint of
focus.
society.
Yeah.
No, America has a very self-centered viewpoint of society, and that's true for any geographically uh, isolated country. And when I say that, Indians in India also have a very Indian-centric view, although you have to take into account the fact that the people that you may meet in America who are from other countries, they don't necessarily represent the standard person from the country they're from. They're much more open to going out. Like think about the type of person, the type of personality you have to go to an entirely different country where you may or may not speak the language fluently and exist in that society. That takes a lot. It takes a special person. And so
Well,
that person is not going to necessarily represent the type of person in the society that they're from.
I think another thing that's a little different about America is like um basically ever since I found out that I was black, I've never felt like I was ever
You're black?
welcomed in this country at all. It doesn't feel like I'm welcomed here. Like this is not necessarily mine. I
Um,
guess you could say.
You
to
know where
touch
you didn't
on
feel that?
Hmm?
what Vidal said, it's also regional inside this country. I mean, look at the Northeast versus Southeast versus the Midwest versus the West.
Yeah, you can
I
break it.
mean,
Yeah, you can definitely break it down further.
because I'm from originally considered Midwest because I'm from up north. Um, and I'm in South Carolina. These some weird ass motherfuckers down here. Um,
We're not
so
weird. We're fine.
you're in a different state. You're from where all the cows come from. So,
Shut the fuck up, you dirty whore.
but the South is, I mean, yeah, some of that old timey racism alive and well. But we're up where I'm from. It's a lot more sparse, and you get back even when I was in high school. Like we're talking like the '90s. You get your mouth jacked for being racist because I don't know
Yeah,
where.
but I'm from California. That's supposed to be liberal central.
Right.
And that's why like it irritates me when people like Negs are like, oh, like we know all the libs and blah blah, and I'm like, you think it's extra progressive over here, huh? It's the same as pretty much anywhere else in America where a big city is, where that's basically what's part of what we used to call the Chitlin circuit. Any part that's a part of the Chitlin circuit, those areas is usually just fucked. And like I said, the minute that when I was like I think I was in first grade, and they were like, "What are you?" And I'm like, "What the fuck does that mean?" And like, no, what race are you? And I'm like, I don't fucking know. Like,
Human.
yeah, like that's something that I never thought about ever. And then I went home and I asked my parents, like, people ask me like, "What am I?" Like, so what does that mean? Like, what race am I? And my mom was like, you're black and you're Puerto Rican." And then my dad was like, "Don't listen to her. You're black." And them niggas, because he was like, "Them niggas is black too." And then then I had to have the whole talk of, oh, now that you realize that you're black, there's going to be people who don't like you just because you're you. And I'm like, why? I ain't do shit to nobody. I'm over here chilling. I'm over here like I'm trying to run around outside and like use sticks as fake swords and stuff. Like why is somebody mad at me?
Because you
But
took the
that
catalytic converter.
Bro, and
but
it's like
that's like always been the thing is like you get that talk where you're like you're black, people don't like you, and that's just something you're gonna have to live with your whole life.
and it's one thing getting it from like other folks that aren't your race, but like to get it from your same race is like worse. Like I said before, I joked about it, but like I've had people been like, "Oh, you speak too good, or you talk with enunciation, so you're not black," and I'm like, "What does that mean?"
Honestly,
Yeah,
that doesn't bother me more. It doesn't.
But it
When it's
makes me
from
feel
our
like you're
own,
calling black people stupid because if I'm not black because I talk well, that makes you're saying that black people are stupid.
well,
no,
I kind of get where she's coming from, but I mean, I will say that I don't really have a grasp on that particular issue because the whole don't talk well. I just don't think you're educated, and it had nothing to do with your color. Because you know how many dumbasses talk that are white, and I can't barely understand them because they're dumb as fuck, and
That's what
they
I'm
do that
saying. Like
slang.
well,
you get like deep south,
it's more
some of the white people
of
talk
no,
worse.
it's more of a cultural thing because um there's something that I like reposted today, and it was a black man who apparently made an airship before the Wright brothers or whatever, and the whole thing was
Dude, send me that shit.
that
I'll be interested to read
I'll
that.
send I'll send it to you. Uh, the whole thing is that he taught himself how to read and write, and back then during slavery days, you weren't allowed to read.
It
You
killed you
weren't
for
allowed
that.
to write. Yeah, you weren't allowed to sound smart either. And mothers would, if their sons or daughters, knew how to speak well, um, they would often tell them, they would discourage that because if you start speaking well, it sounds like you know how to read and write.
I
And
agree with
if
Taylor
you're a little
Gamar.
bit too smart, then
Yeah.
there's a little bit of there was some rules and regulations that came with slaves who learned to read and write. That's why it's always meant ever look at up if you ever look up
So
old
then
records,
Malcolm
they
X
always
was
talk
right
about
when
when
he
the
was
slave
calling it.
learned to read or write.
So Malcolm X was right when he was calling it the slave mentality. Oh,
About
excuse
what?
me, Louis Farrakhan, or not Farrakhan. What's his name? The Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
About what?
When they were saying that we have to
About
get
what?
out of that idea that having an education and being able to read and write and all that stuff
Mm-hmm.
is a
No,
white thing.
that's true.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
no, that's true. The reason why it's perceived as a white thing is because slaves were not allowed to do that, but white people were. And we seen, there were a bunch of white kids who actually taught some slaves how to read and write and stuff like that. So, like, yeah, it's seen as a white thing. Being educated is seen as a
Yeah,
white thing when it
that
comes to
is
the
the
black
slave
community.
mentality that they were talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Mm-hmm.
I would have like when I worked in fast food, this guy would come up to me and be like, sounds like you paid attention in school. And I was like, whoa, what the fuck does that mean? Yeah.
Right.
And then when I laughed it off, he was like, oh, you think that's funny? And I'm like, I mean, yeah, it is kind of funny. And he was like, you're not one of us. And then he walked away. And I was like, well, okay, I guess.
Now, see, and I don't understand what Taco was talking about. You talk too good because I'm pale as fuck. I never questioned somebody's background, their ethnicity, when it comes to a white dude talking stupid. I don't question. Yeah. So where are you from? What's your background? What's your mama, daddy? And so I don't actually understand what you mean by. I mean, I get it, but I've like never been I've never been able to experience that because white guy. Um,
Well, I would say that people with Southern accents get it also.
well, then
Hmm.
that's but it's
Yeah,
not
they
just
do.
Southern.
And see,
Southern
that's what
accent
I
doesn't make
thought.
you sound dumb.
And you know
It's
what's funny too is that
it's
synonymously, most black, like I guess, damn near all black people come from the South, and that's the funny part. Like the fact that she even mentioned that, like, oh, white people from who have Southern accents get like that same type of stigma, and technically we all come from
my buddy
the
Yato
same
asked me if I
place.
was
Because
up
like
because we're
my
talking about black and white things, and he's like, "Are you still up?" I'm like, "Yeah, getting ready to go to bed." He
You're
goes,
not
"We're talking
muted,
about this
who?
stuff, and I need a white guy in here because
Who?
everybody on the panel is black except for me."
Who? You're not muted.
Shut up, Pooh.
What did I say?
Oh Jesus. Anyway, but yeah, no. The reason why I never understood it growing up is
Am I still
because
coming through? Oh my
yes,
god. Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm not muting at all.
no, I said
Nope.
it multiple times.
No, I had my headphones off. My best friend from Florida came up to visit me.
Okay.
No, that's good because I'm glad I didn't say like her name or anything like that.
No, but
Because
We
it was
didn't
still
even
why is my
know.
hilarious
shit
how
not muting?
it was still hilarious.
You can mute it on StreamYard. There's
Yeah,
a mute
mute on
button.
StreamYards.
Yeah, dude, I'm terribly sorry because
No, you're good.
No,
this,
no,
this,
you're
but
good.
that's the
Mute
whole reason
yourself.
I jumped in here was because there's so many times that I've wanted to get on panel and give my perspective because this is well, it's harder for people, like yeah, shut up, token whitey. Yes, I am. So anyway, my biggest concern was that I like didn't like dox nothing.
Wasn't
But
there a time where like people were spreading rumors that there were no white people in the petty fam?
yes, there
Oh
was.
yeah.
There
I don't
isn't.
even think I'm petty fam, am I? I mean, do I count?
No, there isn't any. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh,
No, like there was like
Yato's a
literally
token
saying there's
white guy.
no white people in the petty fam Discord.
Yato's a token white
Yeah,
guy. I'm just
yeah,
I'm
there
just a
isn't.
guest.
There's like the minute that I find out that you are, like, you're booted.
Taylor Noir's white. Is she in the Discord?
That's none of your business.
Okay. You know what? I
No.
will stay in my place because
She
I
talks
don't
with an
need to
accent.
know.
She talks with an accent. She can't be white. Oh. Fuck. But the southern accent down here, yeah, sounds stupid as fuck. But there's a big difference between southern accent and southern and redneck ass hillbillies.
Yes, Taylor
is where I
Noir,
can
you
come
have
from.
your inward pass or whatever.
I'm again. I have. I was given my pass, but I'm only using it on my deathbed. That's the last word I'm gonna speak.
Y'all are such pussies. I'm gonna save it for my deathbed.
All right, well, been going on for a cool ass minute. So I dropped y'all in the back. I'm gonna put on something else, and we're gonna go ahead and end this shit out because I'm hungry, I'm tired, and I need to take a piss. I need to do a lot of things right now, basically. So always remember that if you're not a sub to me or Tito Canoe, you are definitely missing out. Oh shit. I'm I am so fucking stupid. I did not share it after I stopped it. God damn. I did I did the whole little outro and everything. I fucked that up so bad. And guess what? Fuck you guys. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna delete that whole part. Fuck y'all.
Missing out, missing out, missing out, missing out, missing out, missing out, missing out. I just got off, waiting on a friend to scoop me up. Oh, it's hella cold out. I had to get away to call you up. I just got back from LA. Yes, I plan to move. And I know that's what they all say. But I'ma be someone to know soon. Come fuck with me. I ain't got no plans for the weekend. Don't know what you was thinking. But I don't got no drinks for drinking. I got some weed for smoking, and I got some songs for listening. No, I don't got work in the morning. Shit, you don't know what you're missing. Missing out, missing out, missing out, missing out, oh, missing out. Missing out, missing out, missing out. I just got off. My friend is taking longer than I thought. I'm sitting in a Starbucks. It was getting late and too cold out. Damn, my feet are getting tired. I ain't trying to move. Call you back on Saturday, but I think I'ma go to bed soon. Come fuck with me. I ain't got no plans for the weekend. Don't know what you was thinking, but I don't got no drinks for drinking. I got some weed for smoking, and I got some songs for listening. No, I don't got work in the morning. Shit, you don't know what you're missing. Missing out, missing out, missing out, missing